Hello, good morning, and welcome to the AM show, a show that is worth waking up to. Now, it's midweek, and we are glad you could join us on the show. We have some news update for you, and then we delve into matters arising on the news review segment. And we begin with a dramatic turn in the buffer stock case. What is that? Now, the state yesterday withdrew criminal charges against former National Food and Buffer Stock Company CEO Hanan Abdul-Wahab and his co-accused in the alleged 78 million Ghana cedis loss case, citing fresh evidence and the need to ensure a fair trial. But in a twist that raises even more questions, shortly after their discharge, the two were rearrested under circumstances that remain unclear. Is this the reset for justice or a sign of deeper inconsistencies within the prosecution's approach? We'll delve into that. Now, from the courtroom to the clinics and the hospitals, tensions are escalating in the health sector. What are we talking about? The Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union has declared a nationwide strike effective May 12, protesting what it describes as the unlawful removal of the head of laboratory services at the Kojo Teaching Hospital. You remember that doctors in our hospital declared strike because they were also protesting their non-involvement in laboratory services. And so it led to the removal of the head of laboratory services at Kojo Teaching Hospital. So the laboratory technicians say we are also withdrawing that. Now, with laboratory services critical to diagnosis and treatment, the key question remains, are these actions justified, or are patients being left vulnerable in the midst of what you can best describe as institutional dispute? And then the economy comes onto the table as well. The majority in Parliament is defending the financial position of the Bank of Ghana. They are insisting that negative equity does not necessarily equate to insolvency. Following significant reported losses, concerns persist, but what do the figures actually reveal about the central bank's stability, and should we as Ghanaians be worried? We find out. We have three critical fronts this morning: accountability, health, and the economy. Your pocket. So joining us for discussion this morning, we have Tanko Rashid Computer. He's the CEO of Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications, GIFEC. Kwesi Bochwe Jr. is lawyer and member MPP Communications team, and Ebo Bachman, Deputy Director of Communications for the United Party. They'll be joining us for breakfast this morning and other introductions that we have for you here on the show. But as we do always, we'll start with the AM news, followed by the AM sports. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace and Tapele. I do this always with Emefa, Akosua, Adeti. On behalf of the team, I say thank you for choosing us this morning and welcome. Let's start with the AM news now with Denisa Pomayaje.
Hello, good morning, and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denise Apomaide. We begin with a rather sad story. A crash involving a trailer and a Nissan van minibus has left 4 people severely injured at the Awoshi-Bayard intersection. The accident occurred around 4:18 a.m. when the trailer with registration number GB708821 traveling from Tema ran into the minibus, which was conveying passengers from Ablekuma Awoshi towards Accra. The impact has left the trailer positioned diagonally across the stretch, obstructing traffic flow. As a result, there's a heavy gridlock in the area, with vehicles forced to move slowly in single file through a narrow section of the road. The attention of authorities have been drawn to the incident and are currently at the scene. Hopefully, the gridlock situation will be resolved for free flow of traffic. Well, we'll be following this story closely and bring you updates in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, residents of the Weija municipality staged a protest over the continued closure of the completed Children's Specialist Hospital. They say the facility, finished 2 years ago, is yet to be opened, raising concerns about access to care for children. Adobia Asari reports.
Unused and locked, while residents say lives are being lost just a few kilometers away due to the lack of specialized care. A member of parliament for the area is now adding his voice to the growing frustration. He insists the delay is unjustified, arguing that everything needed to operationalize the facility is already in place.
Most disappointed person, and I feel very sad about the situation. I have been here on numerous occasions. You can imagine how much money we are paying just to keep the lights on to ensure that the cities can stay in shape. You can imagine the lives we've lost. This is a facility that has 120 bed capacity. It has a mother's hostel. So if you brought your child in, your son or your daughter who has to come and seek medical care, the mother will still be around to take care of the child.
But beyond the political call is the anger and desperation of residents that stands out. They say the situation is costing them dearly, pointing to cases of child death, overcrowded health facilities, and lost job opportunities that this hospital could have addressed. You said you had the opportunity to go in.
Complete hospital and medical case we for politics and tunche and MPP and NDC e Weija gwawe Mr. Kwablembi Akando Minister of Health on your company say omume bi mai na atomeshe kofo mewu.
The facility is complete. Let's put politics aside. This is about the people of Weija. We are pleading with the President and the Minister of Health to open this facility for us. Our children are dying.
Really affecting me, although we are forcing ourselves to get something doing now. And as for now, we are not like, I'm home and I'm not working for now. I'm not working and I'm home. People will be talking, you went to school without working. Meanwhile, we have a nice building here, which when the facility is being open, I can get the opportunity to work over here.
Residents here say the situation is not just frustrating, it's costing lives. Their demand is simple. Open the hospital, save the lives of the children. For Joy News, my name is Adobia Asari.
By responding to this in a Facebook post by the Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Health, he has been explaining the reasons why the facility has remained unopened. We know that this has been a 120-bed facility, children's specialist hospital. Now, the statement reads, the Ministry of Health has noted with concern a demonstration that took place at the Weija Pediatric Hospital. That was yesterday, Monday, May 5, 2026, and wishes to state the following. The first, the hospital is a World Bank-funded project which commenced in 2023 and was expected to be completed in December 2025. Goes ahead to say that, however, in 2024, the World Bank raised concerns about misprocurement, which included inflated cost of medical equipment up to about 11 times the actual price. As a result, the World Bank declined to settle all the outstanding payments. Recognizing the importance of the project, the Ministry of Health engaged relevant stakeholders and was prepared to commission the facility for use. However, the contractor subsequently halted this process, insisting that all outstanding issues be fully resolved before granting access to the hospital. The ministry wishes to assure the people of Ghana that it is actively engaging all stakeholders to resolve the matter in the best interest of the public. The ministry acknowledges the critical importance of the hospital within Ghana's healthcare delivery system, particularly in providing specialized care for children. We wish to assure the general public that the Ministry of Health is committed to working assiduously to ensure the full operationalization of the pediatric hospital. And they end by saying that the ministry therefore appeals to the people of Weija in particular and the general public at large to exercise patience while steps are taken to operationalize the hospital. Now, this is signed by Tony Goodman, spokesperson for the Ministry of Health. Let's talk about roads. It wasn't the potholes that stuck with Kwame Gavin's Abuja. It was the women. For months, the Big Push road agenda in the Upper West region had been pushing against the government, abandoned sites, angry citizens, threats to shut down the Wa Airport. Roads and Highways Minister Kwame Gavin's Abuja hit the road for 2 days in the northwestern corridor of the country to see for himself what was working and what wasn't. More in the following report.
First stop was the site of the Buleriyan-Yoweri 37 kilometers road project. This road has been a nightmare of dust, potholes and culverts always wash away during violent floods. Now, as Ghana Limited is giving it a fresh layer of surface dressing and doing it fast. Our Power's Regional Director of the Ghana Highways Authority, Engineer Lavston Damali, briefing the Roads Minister, stated that since the contractor took over the site close to 3 months ago, he has been impressive.
We are within the section of the measures as T, and he's supposed to do 5% by now. We have done 10%, and obviously we can see a lot of work is going on. It's a site that looks like there's activity on the site, which is very good. Having gone through trauma yesterday, this is at least the best way to start the day. You have 24 months, but can you do better than 24 months in terms? So what do you want to promise the people using this road in terms of when you can finish?
Our plan is to finish within, let's say, 16 months.
Next was the Mankuruhen stretch. Here, PNW Ghanim Limited had already delivered a well-executed section.
We laid all the base, and we are on the final dressing, coming to test the base tomorrow. Tomorrow we test, and if it passes, we continue with the primer sealing.
So well, in fact, that the Ghana Highways Authority Chief Executive Officer, Malam Isa Isaac, said they had no regret awarding them that project.
You have proven to us that, yes, you are the contractor of the sort that we chose to do this work. And I think, looking at the quality of work, everybody will attest to it that it is the best that we have gotten.
The Roads and Highways Minister then made an on-the-spot promise.
Because of the enthusiasm and everything, we are considering you and another contractor to go, Jarapa to Dori. So Chief Executive will get in touch with you to see how quickly we can put that. But we know there's a critical bridge also on that stretch. So now that we are fully mobilized, we'll see whether we can, you and somebody can get in there.
As the President said, when we're cutting the sword, if you show the effort, you may be lucky to get another one. But I believe that you are demonstrating that you want the people of Upper West to really enjoy this road when we are going to our sisters and brothers in the Upper East and beyond.
Not everyone got applause. Malpoma Enterprise Limited came up again, and not in a good way. The contractor, who failed to start work on the Solawa Highway 6 months after the soil cutting, is also lagging on the Jeffisi Tumu stretch.
We'll pay from, they've done the primer seal. We'll pay for the 2 seals, but nothing in addition to that, because it should not be the burden of the Ghanaian taxpayer to pay for one thing twice when it's not our fault. 3 other contractors were mission in action entirely. More and More Limited, Ganhali Limited, and MA Constance Limited. Their sites were empty, no machines and no workers. Governor Kwame Abuza gave a 2-week ultimatum to either report to site to continue work or the contracts will be terminated. But the moment that mattered most to the minister wasn't on a site plan. It was on a dusty stretch between Nandawala and JFC. Over 6 months ago, he drove into women sweeping maize grains off the road. Grains that are spilled from trucks struggling through the deplorable surface. That image has stayed with him.
We sympathize with them. Minister gave them some money that afternoon, I remember. We're with Rafik and so to come here this afternoon and to see the level of transformation that is taking place, even though it's not over yet, really does show that leadership makes a difference.
Work is now ongoing on the Jeffisi Tumu stretch with Mawums Ghana Limited, earning praise from Tumu chiefs and the Member of Parliament for Sosala East, Mohamed Issa Batalia, for making the journey to the Upper East Regional Capital, Bolgatanga, possible in just 2 hours.
So they've been very vigorous with their work, and I got the commitment from them that instead of the 2 years, they are zeroing it down to a year, and that's the confirmation given here. Clearly, you can see visible works being done there, and we are quite appreciative of their effort.
Deputy Minister Alasan Suhini made it clear that the visit wasn't a public shaming exercise.
I mean, we are not on a mission to find faults. We are not on a mission to embarrass contractors. We are not on a mission to destroy people's businesses. Our mission, led by our boss, is simply that we want to see the fruition of His Excellency President Mohammed's vision.
For now, the optics in the Upper West look better. The roads are moving, the pressure has eased, and the planned picketing at the Wa Airport back in St. Upper citizens had been called off. If the big push keeps pushing at this pace, the government might just avoid another roadblock, this time at the airport gate.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Nandowala.
And now to the basic education certificate examination. A pregnant candidate writing in the Cape Coast metropolis went into labor on Monday at an exam center. At the Holy Child School Center, where the incident occurred, the headmistress, Linda Apia, said the candidate was swiftly rushed to the hospital for medical attention and is yet to return to continue the remaining papers. She disclosed this during a monitoring visit by the Metropolitan Chief Executive of Cape Coast and the Director General of the Ghana Education Service.
The Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis, was joined by the Metropolitan Chief Executive of Cape Coast and the Central Regional Director of Education on a monitoring tour of the ongoing BECE across the metropolis. At the Holy Child School Examination Center, the headmistress, Linda Apia, revealed that a pregnant candidate went into labor while writing the first paper on Monday. prompting swift intervention.
So yesterday we advised the teachers to convince them and bring them today, despite the fact that English language has already been written. Then we had one also who was sent to the hospital yesterday for delivery. We asked of the head this morning, and she said the student and the baby are doing well. So we pray that in God's own time, they would avail themselves and then take the exams again in order to assess secondary education.
Addressing candidates, Professor Davis issued a firm warning against examination malpractice, urging hard and independent work.
I wish to use this opportunity to once again admonish students to do independent work. They shouldn't expect APO, as I said yesterday, because it wouldn't come. We are doing everything possible to ensure that the students do the examinations independently. We have waged war against examination malpractice, and the war will continue until we restore our education to its past glory.
The Metropolitan Chief Executive of Cape Coast, George Justice Arthur, underscored the need to provide technology to support visually impaired candidates.
They use the bureaus, and I believe that the bureau would actually waste their time in respect to, if they are going in sequence with their colleagues, So I think it will be very imperative that government will look into that and make sure that they provide them with computers so that they will be able to use the computer to write their exams. That is what I would advocate for, and that is what I would also implore the Education Minister to take it up. And I know that GS Director and Education Minister would take a second look.
On her part, the Regional Education Director, Dr. Juliet Dufi-Utame, called on parents to provide the necessary support to candidates.
Yes, we've done our part. Everybody has done their part. It's left for them to also produce their part. And another issue I want to address is to parents. We are still appealing to parents to support our children. They should ensure that they eat well, they should rest well, and they should exempt them from every domestic activity, so that this period, this 1 week, it should be for our children.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
It's time for business, and the Ahanta Pele once again will bring us business news right after this breather.
Let's do some business updates now. Telecoms giant MTN is proposing 6 pesos per share as dividend on its first quarter performance. We've captured more in the following report.
According to MTN Ghana, the proposed dividend payment is part of measures by the board to return some value to shareholders every quarter based on its performance. It is therefore proposing some changes to its dividend policy going forward. However, MTN says this will be subjected to cash availability, retained earnings, and compliance with debt covenants. The telecoms giant is looking at paying up to 80% of its profits that will be declared in each quarter. MTN Ghana ended the first quarter of this year with profit before tax going up by more than 48% to reach 3.5 billion cedis. The report also showed that revenue reached 7.2 billion cedis in the first 3 months of this year. Taxes paid to the state from January to March reached 1 billion cedis, representing more than 50% spike. Mobile money revenue also reached 1.7 billion cedis.
Our senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amoah, says it could take up to 4 years to consolidate recent economic gains and translate them into meaningful business growth. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Amoah stressed that sustained intervention by the Bank of Ghana will be critical to stabilizing the market and maintaining the current economic momentum.
At what point will be the point where we will allow the CD to by itself find its natural rate against the dollar. This is against the fact that we just had 1 year of relative stability. And 1 year of relative stability has not transformed the economy so much for us to say that fundamentally the economy has changed. And for that matter, we have moved from an import-dependent economy to an export-dependent economy. No, 1 year is such a short time for us to be able to achieve that. What we are experiencing, and if we are successful to do that, will be to consolidate the gains. If we can have 2, 3 years, or even 4 years of consolidating, that will be enough for businesses and for other aspects of our economy to be structurally transformed so we can have the needed robustness and strength that we need in our city. 1 year is too short for us to achieve that. What BOG will have to do, unfortunately, we still have to support the market. If BOG stops supporting the market, we are going to have problems. So if you are asking me to what extent, I would say that we still have to support the market because structural-wise, the economy has not changed. And BOG will still have to do what they did last year to give us that needed ground so that we can have the fundamental shift in the economy.
And that's how we wrap up the business update. Back to you, Denicia.
Thank you, Ahanta Pili, Samuel Kujubrace. That's it for AM News. That's it for business as well. But don't forget that the AM show is sponsored by Shield Silicone Paints from Mazar Group, Syntex Pipes, and also Time Herbal Mixture. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we enjoy today's moment, remember to keep your body refreshed and your energy right with Fresh Drop Still Natural Mineral Water. Fresh Drop Still Natural Mineral Water is not just any water. It's natural and mineral rich that keeps you going. So, whether you're dancing, cheering, networking, or simply enjoying the moment, Fresh Drop Still Natural Mineral Water helps you stay cool, refreshed, and fully present. So grab a bottle available in 500 ml, 20-liter jars, and sachets. For bulk purchase or inquiries, call 055 22 50290. Also, do you want to change your TV or upgrade your sound system? How about getting an AC that sends mosquitoes away? Well, if you've been waiting for the perfect time to transform your home, the wait is officially over. LG Prime Week is here at Compi Ghana, and it's bigger than ever. From the breathtaking cinematic color of LG TVs to smart refrigerators, washing machines, air conditioners, microwaves, and more, enjoy world-class innovation designed to make life easier, smarter, and more enjoyable. Now within your reach for a fraction of the price. But don't wait, this is a strictly 1 week promo. Visit any Compu Ghana showroom today or shop online at www.compugana.com. For inquiries, call 030-752020. And that's it for the AM News. My name is Denicia Pomaije. For more news, please log on to myjonline.com. Up next is sports. Enjoy the rest of the day.
From farm to plate, do you really know what you're eating? Any glitch in the circuit of the food chain can change the price and size of what you eat. Technology has changed the face of farming, but how is Ghana plugging in? Join Jesse Aram Agbakpo, Emmanuel Bright Kweku on the food chain as they project startups in the agri sector, highlight the gains and plight of industry players while engaging with experts for more insights in agri-related issues. Food chain, everything agriculture and more, as during the Joy Business Report every Thursday at 1 p.m. on Joy FM and every Saturday at 6 p.m. on the Joy News channel, with a repeat on Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m.
Good morning. We'll bring you sports now on the AM show with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. Have you secured your tickets to be able to experience the FIFA World Cup at the semi-final and the final stages of the tournament? March Hospitality Experience, they have been given a small batch of tickets for the semi-final and the final matches happening on July 14 and 15, as well as July 19. The semi-final matches are on July 14 and 15, and the final will be on July 19. So get in touch with March Hospitality Experience to be able to secure those tickets. You can call us on 055-155-11119, 055-155-11119, or sales@marchexphospitality.com, or visit our website, which is www.marchexphospitality.com. We are the only FIFA authorized agency, so please get in touch with us to buy the tickets. And also, if you're a business organization, and you would have known that by now, Ghana exports billions of dollars of non-traditional goods annually to the USA. The 2026 FIFA World Cup match between Ghana and England will be in Boston. And so, with the Made in Ghana Expo on the 22nd and 23rd of June 2026 at the Envision Hotel in Boston, Latina Travel and Tours, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, invites Ghanaian manufacturers, entrepreneurs, artisans, food and beverage processors, fashion designers, beauty and cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, real estate, banking and finance, and construction and many more to leverage Ghana's World Cup moment and connect with international buyers, distributors and investors in Boston, where traveling fans from all over the world will converge in Boston, the city with the strongest Ghanaian diaspora presence. The expo will showcase Ghana's most powerful commercial business exhibition and business-to-business network with U.S. companies. To register now by calling to reserve a booth and enjoy massive global visibility and clinch your share in the huge U.S. export market. Call Latina on 0244-260-789 or come to Latina Travel and Tour located inside the Alisa Hotels Northridge, Accra. This Made in Ghana FIFA World Cup 2026 Expo is powered by the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. There's one story that has refused to go away, and that story has to do with Ghanaian athletes taking to social media to express their concerns or grievances about the treatment which is often meted out to them when they are going to represent the country at major international events. Abdul Rashid Saminu took to social media to express his concerns, and it was backed by Benjamin Azamati. The Minister of Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, has responded to those claims. He says that he has even complained about the fact that oftentimes arrangements for teams to participate in competitions often get to his office quite late. He also spoke about the fact that most of the athletes who claim that they earn nothing by running for their country must get to a certain stage before they are remunerated.
I haven't heard them express any concern about arrangement for the Senior African Athletic Championship. What I heard an athlete talk to about was their travel arrangement for the World Athletics that was hosted by Botswana in Gaborone, and that's so because of the wait time and all the jet lag that comes with traveling short. And they were trying to take on the Ministry of Sports and compare with the footballers. That also, they got it wrong when they said if it were to be football, they get them tickets a month ahead. It's not possible to get tickets a month ahead for any footballer, because most times the list is released close to the match time. That's where you know, and then you make arrangement to be able to. I've had cause to complain that I needed a longer time notice. So you buy the tickets longer ahead of time, so it costs you less. Yeah. It actually costs the ministry more when you buy tickets last minute. So it is for our own good, financial and economic good, to have the information much earlier and to buy the tickets much earlier. It will cost you less. So we would wish that we got the information much earlier to act. And the truth of the matter is that the ministry don't change drastically the dates and the schedules as presented by the Federation. Yeah. We work according to their schedule. There may be a slightest variation if a particular date chosen, there are no flights from the country that you are going to. So it may either happen earlier, a day earlier, or a day later. Yeah. But in all the case, we make sure that we meet the tournament protocols. If you are supposed to report a day before entering, we'll make sure that we meet those protocols as we have always done.
And Rashid said they earn nothing in monetary terms running for Ghana. Why is there? Is there no financial incentives to support them? Maybe a package for breaking national record, a bonus for qualifying for major events like the World Championship or Olympics?
Well, if those are the things, there's always a bonus or per diems that get paid to athletes. So that is done. But he's looking for something like a price. There are levels that you reach when you start earning something from your victory. But if you haven't reached that level, unfortunately, you have to continue performing until you reach a stage where maybe your performance can lead to you making money. Yeah. And before that point, government will continue to support you in one form or the other. Yeah.
Let's go to the camp of the Black Stars. One man whose contribution and admiration from many Ghanaians during the 2021 African Cup of Nations is Daniel Kofi. Well, he got injured and was out of the playing field for 36 months. That is 3 clear years. He returned recently and granted an interview to Joy Sports. The first time he was granted an interview, he spoke about the fact that he's hopeful of participating in this year's FIFA World Cup.
Yes, I do, and that's another dream, another goal I'm thriving for, and I believe in it. Point or dot, and on the other hand, I need to be honest to myself and see every day or after this, maybe one day until the call up, how I'm really feeling, how my in what state I am, because I don't want to go to the World Cup just to be a part of it and have on my CV that I have another World Cup if I cannot really help the team and if I cannot have the impact I had before. So I need to be honest to myself. But until then, I have those days, those weeks, month to work on, to get in the best shape I can be. And yesterday I started with 20 minutes, and for me, my aim is to before the World Cup begins, I want to have at least 1 or 2 games where I go over the full time, and of course next week a little bit more time, and then the other week more time, and just get into a rhythm. And but I believe I can do it and get in shape, ready for the World Cup, and that's just a dream. But in the end of the day, it's not me who decides, and I can just do what I can do, and I can what's the word? I'm missing the word. In German ist, ich kann nur das beeinflussen, was ich beeinflussen kann.
Be hopeful.
Yeah. So
that is Daniel Kofi speaking there to my colleague Fenty Utahiri. You can get a full interview on the Joy News YouTube channel. Now, let me take you to the camp of Hasaacas Ladies. They finished second in this year's Ghana Women's Premier League, but their sponsor, BECE, decided to give them a donation for being runners-up of the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League Women's Campaign.
Hasaacas Ladies finished as runners-up at the end of the 2025-26 Women's Premier League season, missing out on a 6th league title. The team visited the BECE Ghana office to present the silver medal to them after a long season in the top flight. The company also used the opportunity to make a donation to the club, which included bags of rice, canned products, beverages, and other essentials. The country manager of BECE Ghana congratulated the team on their performance as he assured them of continued support.
We have been monitoring your games very closely, and we have always, for the past 3 years, supported this team, and we will always support you no matter what. Although we were hoping that you guys would have won the last game, but nevertheless, you know, as BECE, we will always support you.
The team from Hasaacas Ladies expressed gratitude to the bookmakers and promised to make them proud in subsequent games.
This pleasant surprise we saw down there, you know, I don't know, but we least expected it, especially when we have failed where we should have, you know, won this trophy. But it's a consolation from you, and that should urge us on that better things await us in respect of this partnership. So, BECE, we thank you once again for your unfailing love and trust and faith in us.
Well, we are prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, even though the last game we lost had a turn on us, most especially emotionally. But like, it's football, so we have to pick our pieces together and come back to what we know how to do best. So I think we are ready.
In attendance at the event were also management members of Hasaacas, including CEO Evelyn Nsiasari, and some of the players. Hasaacas will now have the opportunity to fight for the Women's FA Cup trophy after missing out on the league title.
Some selected international schools in the country organized a U15 tennis tournament at the University of Ghana. My colleague, Penty Newton-Jijo, has more in the following report.
The second edition of the International Schools Tennis Tournament brought together several international schools in Accra. Speaking to Joy Sports, a late tennis academy manager, Fred Ando, explained the initiative behind the tournament.
So when we talk about how this initiative actually came up, it came up where we need to show or defend our school in terms of competition in tennis. Schools, you know, inter schools, we talk about running, athletics and all that. How about tennis? So to promote the tennis in your schools, that was all about it, that came up. It will go global, especially to bring out best athletes in our sports of tennis, to make sure they'll be able to go out there, showcase whatever they have, and then they'll be able to represent very well. So this is actually an experience for them, an exposure for them to let them know that what is actually in tennis as well.
Also speaking to Joy Sports, Margaret Obaya outlined how the schools were selected.
I think the name International Schools Tournament basically means that the students were picked from international schools, even though we had some individuals come into play. The whole idea about picking the international schools was because of the nature of tennis, particularly in Ghana. It's a bit of an elite sport, and the people who have more opportunities or people who are more exposed to it are the students in the international schools.
She added that the plan is to groom young tennis talents and elevate them to the next level.
this is the second edition. We've got more plans in place. We're not just finding the best talent and then playing them every year. The plan is to be able to build up those talents and then move them up to another stage where they can actually play on national levels, because now they're playing on school levels and we need them to represent Ghana, collaborate with the responsible authorities to be able to represent Ghana far and beyond.
Some participating students shared their experiences with Joy Sports.
I really enjoyed today's games. A lot of practice and preparation went into the tournament because I also have exams coming up, so I had to dedicate some time into this tournament.
And I think it was fun. I'm still kind of getting used to the court because it's a bit slippery. It's not what I'm used to.
Tennis. Before, I used to play football and I got injured. So after that, I was trying to find a new sport to play and I found tennis. I think it's been a good year learning how to play. It's been really fun. So I think it's just overall been good for my life, really.
The tournament, held at the University of Ghana Sports Directorate Tennis Courts, aims to unearth young tennis talent. Reporting for Joy Sports, Penti Jojo, University of Ghana.
Uefa Champions League football now. Arsenal, they are in the final of the competition. They're there for the first time in 20 years. The last time they were there, they came up against a Spanish side, which is Barcelona, and lost it by 2-1. Last night, they secured a 1-0 victory against a Spanish side, Atletico Madrid. And that meant that they've won the tie by 2-1 on aggregate to make it to the final. Mikel Arteta becomes the second man in the history of Arsenal to lead the team to the final of the UEFA Champions League. And later tonight, Arsenal will be waiting to see whether Bayern Munich or PSG will be their opponent. We'll have commentary of that game on his 103.9 FM. Let me bring you the highlights of that match. And that is how we are wrapping up AM Sports here with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. You can head on to myjoyonline.com for some more sports stories. The newspaper review is coming your way up next.
Lewis Skelly able to get to the byline. What a are back in a Champions League final. Total control, character and belief. And the Gunners are heading to Budapest to face either Bayern Munich or PSG.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Mothers give us everything, love, strength, and life itself. And it's time to give back. Joy FM
presents the Joy Mommy's Day Out.
Join us on Saturday,
May 9th,
for a day bursting with thrills. We'll have your day packed with irresistible activities like paddle boating on calm waters, an adrenaline rush with horseback riding, quad biking, exciting safari tour, friendly competitions such as dance contests, and wrap the prize, a chance to meet the mysterious Ujafokwa crocodile revered as the protector, and to top it all off, a delicious feast of local dishes and drinks, accompanied by the sensational sounds of the Ajinkor band. Come, let's crown our mothers with joy and adventure at the Crown Forest. For inquiries, call Lois on 059 1709 309. The Joy FM Crown Forest experience is proudly brought to you by the Crown Forest, where nature meets luxury.
Pace. There is no margin for error. So much here is familiar.
Over 1900 games brought us here.
There is not a sporting heat quite like this.
But history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You bought it. There's not a word. You bought it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all.
Outstanding from Patrick Dorgan.
Stay connected and watch GoTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabidim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Mothers give us everything, love, strength, and life itself. And it's time to give back. Joy FM
presents the Joy Mommy's Day Out.
Join us on Saturday,
May 9th,
for a day bursting with thrills. We'll have your day packed with irresistible activities like paddle boating on calm waters, an adrenaline rush with horseback riding, quad biking, exciting safari tour, friendly competitions such as dance contests, and wrap the prize, a chance to meet the mysterious Ujafokwa crocodile revered as the protector, and to top it all off, a delicious feast of local dishes and drinks, accompanied by the sensational sounds of the Ajinkor band. Come, let's crown our mothers with joy and adventure at the Crown Forest. For inquiries, call Lois on 059 1709 309. The Joy FM Crown Forest experience is proudly brought to you by the Crown Forest, where nature meets luxury.
Shield silicone paint repels water, dispels water vapor, is washable, self-cleaning, and durable. Now, you can appreciate how and why Shield silicone paint is super strong and thus able to do what other paints cannot do. Shield silicone paint from Azar Group since 1921.
Is your tech holding you back? Feeling lost in the maze of outdated gadgets? Relax. Come with me to CompuGhana.
Magic. Now I've been international fashion designer. No more president talk matter bia. CompuGhana. Class in one.
Oh, number one.
Ghana, we don't just sell electronics, we transform your life. From office to home appliances and more, we have everything you need to step into the future.
CompuGhana, class in one. CompuGhana, number one.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown cranes, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults? This price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It's been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the vibe. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Cadbury hot chocolate. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy, chocolatey, frothy goodness, rich taste, so satisfying.
Cadbury goodness, the treats you deserve every day.
What I hate is to remain in a job and be bad-mouthing the job. Just be diligent and do the work.
You sit on the Kosi said, politicians come and sometimes they tell the lie blatantly. How do you get the truth out of them in a way that does not expose their ignorance?
If you have more shoes than books, you are not thinking, you are walking.
Kosi said, one of Ghana's long-standing biggest political show. Kaba, amazing guy, did the job, delivered. How was it taken over from him?
There were articles written, Kosi saying, Obi over Western region, Obi how would that person succeed, but
people get opportunities where they cannot execute themselves and have to recommend for other people, but there's a certain fear that is this person going to deliver like me?
Yes.
What requirements do you look for in recommending somebody for a job?
First of all, start by...
If a man walks up to a circle of friends and say, Charlie, and am I depressed? Those are Jimmy, I don't know, Bearman, how do we shape the new generation of men to be men with purpose?
I thank you so much for this question. It brings everything home for me.
From farm to plate, do you really know what you're eating? Any glitch in the circuits of the food chain can change the price and size of what you eat. Technology has changed the face of farming, but how is Ghana plugging in? Join Jesse Aram Agbakpo, Emmanuel Bright Kweku on the food chain as they project startups in the agri sector, highlight the gains and plight of industry players while engaging with experts for more insights in agri-related issues. Food chain, everything agriculture and more, as during the Joy Business Report every Thursday at 1 p.m. on Joy FM and every Saturday at 6 p.m. on the Joy News Channel, with a repeat on Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's now get into the news review segment where we have several matters arising coming up. But we start with what the papers are reporting, and Emefa Akosua Adeti is on the smell. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo. Midweek.
Oh, I love your dress.
Thank you.
Oh.
What about it?
It's beautiful. Very simple.
You.
I say there's beauty in the simple things.
Thank you. I like it quite simple. Okay, quickly, I'm just going to run you through the headlines. The Daily Graphic this morning is reporting when Mahama Cares will begin. It says the Mahama Cares begins next month. Next month will be June, so we look forward to it. And it says that it will be focusing on cancer treatment. The administrator has been speaking. Details of that is on page 3 of the Daily Graphic. Now, Junior Graphic launches 2026 essay contest. So if you have a child in the junior high level, you want to look out for that and have them participate. Story is on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. And as well, Ansar Sare, the former director for Ghana Legal Education or Ghana School of Law, says that inherited legal system is not fit for purpose. He's been speaking on the reformations and what has triggered it, and says that if we still continue with the one that we have, it will not be fit for purpose. I think he's been quite vocal about this over the years. A special supplement on the 2-4's 76th birthday story as well is on the inside the Daily Graphic. President inaugurates Kojo Divisional Police Headquarters. That's behind the Daily Graphic, and Kolebu introduces new services. That'll be a good one to look out for, Kojo, because you're discussing that impasse that's happening at Kolebu. You want to bring that in. And I'm going to see if this will... Yeah, okay, great. The Accra Times this morning, Afoko seeks NPP elders' blessings. We know that internal elections happening quite soon, and that is on page 3 of the Accra Times. The Majority Caucus describes BOG losses as crisis buffer for private sector. Okay. Right. Okay. The Accra Times still. Minority wants BOG against politicization and also questions. Okay, well, maybe they want us to do the daily satellites, or it's just technical. So alleged judicial misconduct is a story I've just been following now, Kojo. It says that President Mahama has been petitioned to remove appeal court judge. And who do you see here, Kojo? I'm yet to see what they say would amount to that misconduct, honestly, because I know that he had just been lifted to that level not long ago. So, Sadia Yajiman, what?
That's Domahine,
yes, he said Domahine. Yeah, okay. Domahine. So it's in the daily satellite.
I don't want to say what I want to say, but
say it. We're in a democracy, isn't it?
Let's move on.
Okay, so a major strike on the way. Laboratory professionals announce a nationwide strike amid governance crisis at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. That in the Daily Searchlight as well. I will go, okay, I guess that's all the newspapers. I'll take you to myjournalite.com. What is the news without myjournalite.com? Biggest story, Health Ministry blames procurement irregularities and payment disputes for Weija Children's Hospital delay. You know that yesterday Adeti Asare reported on how the residents protested on how that children's hospital has not been functioning. President has been giving some directives, but of course the ministry as well is explaining. You want to go into that story. It's our top story, so don't miss it. Kojo, so much to discuss, please.
Right. Thank you very much. Grateful. Now, Emefa spoke about the issue involving the Ghana medical laboratory scientist and the doctors in Kolebu. Let's go on to the phone lines now and bring in the General Secretary of the particular association, Dr. Solomon Kwashe. He's General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Laboratory Scientist. Doc, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning and good morning to our cherished viewers.
Great. So I'll come to you, but let me introduce my guest to my viewers. Tanko Rashid Computer, a CEO, Ghana Investment Fund, for, GIFEC, right? I just want to keep it short. He's the CEO of GIFEC. Good morning to you, Doc.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. And then we have Kwesi Bocho Jr., he's lawyer and member of the MPP's communications team. Kwesi, good morning. That's all good.
Very well.
Great. And then Ebo Bachman is Deputy Director of Communications for UP, United Party. Ebo, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Maybe Ebo Koze.
Yeah,
All right. But just before I bring in my guest in studio, let me bring in Dr. Solomon Kwashe again. He's the General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Laboratory Scientists. Doc, why should a change in leadership result in a strike by your association, which will then, disrupt services to the ordinary Ghanaian who is not supposed to be blamed for what's happening?
So, the ordinary Ghanaian benefits from the services of medical laboratory scientists, and medical laboratory science provide over 70% of evidence for decision-making in healthcare. Now, for every professional cadre in the health sector, there's a path for regulation. and there's a structure for progression, a scheme of service for every professional to aspire to the highest level of leadership for his independent practice.
Okay.
And that has been the call of medical laboratory scientists, that medical laboratory science is an independently regulated profession different from medicine.
Okay.
Such that as we collaborate with any other health professional, our distinct hierarchical leadership has to be distinct. That is the argument.
But so should that trigger the strike for the ordinary Ghanaian to suffer? Isn't it something you can strike it out with the authorities and leave us to benefit the service from the services?
So over the past years, the laboratory sector in Korle Bu, as we get reports from our colleagues, has been a peaceful environment where there's collaboration between health workers, including physicians. And so you have a physician clinic, the hematology daycare clinic, that collaborates with the central lab on a daily basis to provide services to patients. And so the disruption is not coming from medical laboratory scientists, rather from the Korle Bu Doctors Association in conjunction with management and the board of the teaching hospital to create chaos. If you see the media recently, they had that attempt to impose a leadership on us, which we resisted. And so because one of us was appointed, they are not happy, and they misinformed the public in the past few days to cause disaffection for our profession. But we know the agenda. These people actually met in the hospital and said that medical laboratory scientists are becoming influential, and that will give rise to other professionals like radiographers, optometrists, and the rest to also demand leadership. So they will cause chaos. So we had the agenda long ago. And so all that they said in these few days was just to discredit us, to paint the animal black and slaughter it, but it will not wash. We want to assure the public that medical laboratory scientists in Ghana are competent. The central lab of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital is an ISO 15189 accredited laboratory, and is capable and is providing quality services to Ghanaians.
But why must it be difficult that if they appoint a medical doctor to head a laboratory, it triggers you to then say that you disagree and so you're going on strike?
And so there has been a history to this. And this history stems from past engagements with management of facilities, including Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Konfonechi Teaching Hospital, and the cohorts of managers of these facilities in the Ghana Medical Association. So with the establishment of the Faculty of Laboratory Medicine, what happened was that anytime they go for accreditation for facilities to run that program, their report comes out to suggest that if they don't have a medically qualified person, that means that the person heading the facility should be a person with MBCHB. If you don't have that person, then management have to remove the qualified medical laboratory scientists to put their person there before they can give accreditation. And that has been the basis of this. This has been the basis of this. So capriciously, management will side with them just for the accreditation and remove our colleagues for them to be put there. And this is causing chaos in the health sector. We have to bring some sanity to the health sector. And as I already mentioned, our profession is distinct from medicine. And the fact is that we want to lead ourselves, and we continue to lead ourselves.
But is that why you are preventing doctors to have an eye in what you do? Because they say that they need to be part of the process.
We have never prevented any medical doctor from having access to any medical laboratory services or facility. And if you have laboratory physicians are physicians to their own colleagues. Their interpretative work is in the clinic. And the law is clear on this. They are regulated under a different part of the law, the same law that regulates our profession. And their work is in the clinic. And so they you can get to them. They agree that our work is distinct from their work. And so how can you lead me whilst my work is distinct from you? In the hierarchy of things, it is the aspiration of everybody, a normal human being, to lead himself and aspire to the highest level. And we are saying that we can cosmetically talk about this issue, but if we do not address the root cause of the issue, this issue will linger very long.
Okay,
in
all
the
right.
health sector.
Do this for me briefly. We understand the strike will be effective on 12 May. What will happen from now to the 12th May?
So there has been some engagements behind the scenes. We are working with the chief director, and let me also report that on 2 occasions, the management of Korle Bu Teaching Hospital defied the directives of the chief director. That brought us to this level, where we go to the ministry, the chief director will direct the management to take certain decisions. We all sign to it. We go back, and they vary the decisions to our disadvantage. And this has been the practice. But we have assured the chief director that this will be the last time. And if that happens again, we will not listen to his pleas again.
So what will happen to prevent the strike? What must happen?
So what will happen is that in 2021, we provided evidence to some of the things I've mentioned, including the reports of the Ghana College of Surgeons and Physicians, removing recommending the removal of our colleagues for the appointment of medical officers to health laboratories, and provided direction and an organogram to solve this impasse. This is what we are calling on government to implement, so that this become an issue that will go away completely in the health sector.
Okay, all right. Dr. Solomon Kwasi, I'm grateful to you for joining, General Secretary of the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists. Let me now come in studio and then welcome my guest. Let me start with you, Tanko Computer here. What do you think the ministry should do to prevent this? Because the doctors went on strike, they just called it off, and then the medical laboratory scientists say then they're also going to go on strike.
Let me take the opportunity to say good morning to you and my co-panelists, Ebo and then the council here, and the good people of Bimbilla constituency. I love Bimbilla. I'll be inviting you to come at the team. You need to be there. It's a very nice place and a very nice environment. Okay. Very cozy and very serene. You'll love the place. Nice one. You see, I'll take this opportunity to appeal to the medical laboratories. They should tone down. They should take it easy. You see, the minister is on top of issues. He's a young man. He's doing fantastic at the ministry. I mean, if you look at last year and early this year, what he has done so far in the medical field, that tells you that he knows what he's about. He's trying to help them to make sure that we reset and reform the health sector. I mean, it's needless. What they are doing is completely needless. I mean, it's like you are trying to teach leadership how they should handle issues at the hospital.
But wouldn't that also be same for the doctors? Because a medical laboratory scientist was the one appointed to head. The doctors strike, or they went on strike, and then a medical doctor was appointed to head. Aren't the doctors also telling the management what to do?
No, that's not the case. Completely not the case. Okay. See, I know the CEO of Korle Bu.
Okay.
An astute medical officer. He's been in the field for a very long time.
Okay.
In fact, he can best be described as one of the best brains as of now to handle the issues in the hospital. Because he has worked in that environment and he's a silent type. And so he has managed people of that nature, both medical laboratory doctors and then medical doctors themselves in the hospital before. He himself is a qualified medical doctor. So these things, that's what I'm saying, it's completely needless. It's about management issue. And so if management takes decision and associations are going to rise up and begin to say that, no, we're not going to accept this. We want to get our own people. That is not the best way to do. I don't think it's the best way. There's always a way to handle matters of this, not allowing the innocent Ghanaians to suffer unjustly. There's always a way to resolve this. And I know Akando. Honorable Akando is somebody who listens. He's an action-oriented type. And so if they engage him, professionally, not this path, because this one is like trying to I won't describe it as being blackmailing the system, but it's like just to punish Ghanaians unjustly. It's our management issue. It has nothing to do with our operations. If you're lacking tools to work in the hospitals and you're having some challenges in terms of your output and all that, then we can have a discussion on this. But this is about management issues. It's about a decision of management as to who to head which department and all that. It's not about the units or bodies that has formed, decided to decide who should be. No, that is not the case. That's not the case. In my field of public administration, I've never seen this. When it comes to public administration and public policies, it's about management issues. They decide on that.
My question is that when the doctors went on strike, something happened, right?
No, but it wasn't. The decision was not based on the strike of the doctors.
Okay.
That was not the decision completely. It was a different matter. It was completely a different matter. And so management didn't just get up and decided to appoint the new person to head that unit just because the other body also strike. That was not a decision. I followed through the matter. And our discussion with the minister, it's clear in his mind as to what he intends doing and how they want to reform the sector. For the benefit of Ghanaians, it's for you and I. All these things that they're doing is for you and I. It's not for any this thing. And interestingly enough, we as politicians, we have been watching from afar some of these things. We have seen it in other sectors. And we are monitoring closely some of these activities. Closely monitoring. Apart from government side, the political wing is also monitoring closely because we've seen it in other sectors. And the ministers took the bull by the horn.
So what are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm saying that we are monitoring. See, leavers, we are politicians. That's our field. Anyway,
so you saw some political.
I am saying that we are monitoring. We haven't gotten there yet. When we get there, we'll cross. We are saying that when it comes to management decision, people should not stampede management when they are taking their decision. You can't stampede them in this thing. And you look, in public sector, I've been saying it time and again, it is the head of management at that place who decide who should be in which unit. If you get clearance from the board, and the board gives him that clearance through the ministry and other things, he has every right to appoint who should head which units in his department. If you think you cannot work with it, then you will back off. If that's why you are accepted to work in public service, and that's why even if you look at those days when we're being appointed as teachers in the 90s, early 90s, you know there was a clause they put in the appointment letter. You will be sent to where your services are needed. Those days, I'm surprised these days you don't put those clauses in this day. That's why we have all these challenges these days. And now you get appointment and they appoint you to a sector. Now they want to move you to another place. Hell break loose. You go and organize people and say they should go and do strike. You go and do this thing because you have been moved to one place to another. What is that? Okay. When we do this, we are going to disturb the management structure. Okay. And we are going to disturb the whole health sector in this country. And that is not fair enough. That's why I'm saying I'm appealing to them. Let them cool heads rule. All right. Let them sit with the minister or the management and fashion out these things. There's no need for them to go on strike at all. I don't see the need for them to go on strike on this matter. Completely, I don't see the need. They're just going to punish Ghanaians unjustly, and that is not fair enough. It's not fair enough. It's just about management issue. They should look especially the CEO of Kolego. That man is a gentleman, excellent, very cool type.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
And you listen to them.
I'm grateful, Commissioner. So let me bring in Kwesi now. Kwesi, so what do you also make of the situation? Tanko says it mustn't result in this because it's management trying to take the best decisions. Should we get here? How do we resolve it?
Thank you very much, Kojo. Good morning to my dear brothers here. I think that, Kojo, to start with, laboratory practitioners are an essential part of our health system. The doctors cannot fully operate or function without these laboratory or clinical, professionals. And so it's very important that when there are issues come up and we are addressing it, we take our time to address it properly. I think that they have a legitimate concern. Their concerns are not invalid. However, the way forward is for government to sit down and dialogue with them. The way forward is for elements within this government to speak truth to them and explain issues to them. I disagree with anybody who will say that the strike is unnecessary. Strikes are legal. And in fact, in principle, they form part of the measures that corporate bodies or workers or employees use to express their grievance. Strikes are actually recognized by our Constitution. If you look at Article 24(5) of our Constitutions, industrial actions are clearly recognized by the Constitution. You look at our labor laws, they are clearly recognized by our labor laws. You look at the Public Services Commissions Act, strikes are clearly stated in those laws. And so it is within the right of the laboratory practitioners to strike. Let's not try to undermine their concerns. Let's not try to invalidate their concerns. They are saying that the removal of their head is arbitrary. They are saying that the removal didn't go through due process. I think that these are legitimate concerns and that the government should sit down with them. They have every right to put down their tools and to say that they are not going to work again until the matter is resolved. It is within their constitutional right.
Because they have a right to do that at the expense of the health of the American.
No, you see, and so that is where I come in to say that in as much as they have the right, they need to balance the right with the health of other people, because other sick people also have the right to medical care. And so their right must be balanced by the right of other Ghanaians. But to invalidate their concerns is totally unacceptable. To invalidate their grievance and to call their strike unnecessary, I think that it is totally unacceptable. Because we cannot, public servants are not slaves. The fact that somebody is a public servant doesn't mean that if the person is unhappy about a certain situation, the person should be quiet and still work, even though the person is unhappy about a particular situation. I think that public sectors, in as much as people are working in the public sector, they have every right to express every single grievance that they may have. The question about this dismissal, in my humble opinion, is just a matter of two things. It has to do with the manner and the reason for the dismissal. I don't think that their leader was dismissed through the right process. All what these workers are calling for is for due process to take its course. Okay. All what they are calling for, they are not teaching management how to operate, or they are not trying to impose any decision on management. All what they are calling for is for due process to take its course. All what they are calling for is for management to dialogue with them. Okay. And one of the ways to get the attention of management to dialogue with industrial bodies is through industrial actions such as strikes. Okay. And in fact, they haven't said that the strike is to take immediate effect. I think that they have given some timelines in anticipation that the minister will sit down and dialogue with them. And so all what I'll do is that I'll plead with the workers that they shouldn't look at this government, because you see, this situation is not an isolated incident, but it reflects the broader tensions around governance, around accountability, around professional independence, and around mismanagement of our governance system. And so we're only pleading with them that they should consider our sick friends, our sick parents, our sick colleagues, and go back to work. They shouldn't look at this government, because if they say they are going to look at this government, they are going to embark on this strike for a very long time. And so we are pleading with them. Their concerns are valid. Their concerns are legitimate. But we are pleading with them. And we are also pleading with government to reduce their ego and sit down with these workers and dialogue with them, Kojo.
Okay, thank you. Computer says the CEO is a very down to
he's a very calm person. It's not the...
Okay.
Kojo, let me also say good morning to your good self and my colleagues here and your team. So, Kojo, we are looking at conflict or rift that has been on for 11 years or so. This is not something that just happened. It's been on. And it seems leadership has not been able to solve the problem. And I think for me, it's a failure on the part of leadership. That this, when it comes to the issue of human life, we should be playing around like it is like talking about tomatoes or some commodity on the market. This is human life. And so when it comes to human life, you look at the issue of right to life and right to strike. Which one should come first? Yes, the doctors, they have right to strike. The lab scientists also have the right to strike. But we also have right to live, or right to life as human beings. In fact, it is our taxes that are used to pay them. And so if you are to come to the hospital for them to take good care of us, people who have gone to school to save lives, if you are going to go on strike to affect us, those of us who pay you, then that is quite unfortunate. I think when it comes to the issue of life, human life, the issue of strike should always take the backbench. And you don't have to tolerate some of these things. That if things happen and things that can be resolved internally by leadership, by management, you allow it to escalate to the point where people have to go on strike for ordinary Ghanaians and stuff. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So for me, I think the employees, the employer, the association leaders, the doctors' association leaders, and the lab scientists association, they should all sit down. And this is not kind of problem that should be solved by management. We should have clarity as to who is to do what, who is to lead what. And let's have documentation. Something that will guide so that it shouldn't be the decision of today's management. What about tomorrow's management?
Okay, all right.
Are you getting the point? If today's management says, okay, you heard it, another person comes and says, no, you come and head the institution or the department, it becomes a problem. Let's have clarity as to who is to head what, who is to do what. And I think if you do that, it will bring sanity and it will bring peace, and people will also have confidence in the system. And so there's something, one of the doctors said, what was quite disturbing. If it is true, then I think we need to look at it seriously. He said, when it comes to the lab tests, the lab report that they've been receiving, most of the reports turn out not to be a reflection of the situation. So sometimes they ask the people to go to private labs to do them again. And indeed, when they come back, they see difference between what was done by the hospital and what was done by the private lab.
Could that be as a result of difference in equipment, which is not their fault?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That it's a very serious thing you need to look at, because the doctors will act on the basis of the lab test or the lab report. So if the lab report is not true, it's not a true reflection of my condition. What it means is that the doctor may even end up killing me. You get the point? That's why that allegation should not be allowed to just go like that. Authorities must look into it and see how possible they can resolve that particular issue, because it's quite disturbing that my lab report that will be given to me will not be a true reflection of my condition.
All right, thank you very much. I'm grateful to you. Let's go on to the economy, because that affects our pockets. Do we go to the economy, or I start from the court? Okay, let me start from the court, then I come to the economy. I'll make the economy the last one. Kwesi, let me start this with you. Yesterday, we were told that Hanan and his co-accused were released because the state dropped all charges. Then they were immediately rearrested. What is happening? You are the legal person. Is there a strategy, or what actually is there?
Kojo, let me start by saying that the Attorney General is empowered under Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution to withdraw criminal matters before the court. if you may recall, when this government assumed office in the early days, about the first 8 to 9 months, the Attorney General withdrew over 10 high-profile cases that were at various stages of prosecution. And it may interest you to know that that singular act alone resulted in Ghana losing over 10 billion Ghana cedis, because you take the Segleme housing matter, Honorable Collins Dauda and some other persons were standing trial for over 200 million euros. The Current Bank of Ghana governor was standing trial. The former Cocoa Board CEO, Stephen Opuni, was standing trial. The Kwabena Dufour matter, that the Attorney General informs us that there was some plea bargain of some sort. So if you put all these cases together and several others together, the nation lost over 10 billion Ghana cedis as a result of the various withdrawals made by the Attorney General in court. And so it is within the purview and the ambit of the Attorney General's office to withdraw matters. However, you see, the state's decision to withdraw charges only to rearrest Hanan few hours later raises serious questions about due process and the use of prosecutorial power. Because what happened yesterday in court clearly raises the impression, or gives the impression, that the government is trying to abuse their discretion to prosecute individuals. And the pattern is quite worrying. It may interest you to know that as we speak, Hanan is still in Yoko's custody. This is a person who was arrested in the early days of 2025 for allegedly committing some criminal offenses. He was arrested by Yoko. He was detained for over 30 days. He was granted bail, but subjected to unreasonable conditions to the tune of about 200 million Ghana cedis together with the wife. It took them forever to be able to meet the bail condition. They had to actually go to the court to vary the bail terms for them, and so on and so forth. Midway down trial, the Attorney General tells us that they have discovered fresh evidence. You see, this brings us to the question of how investigations are conducted in this matter. Kojo, I am of the humble opinion that the entire oral scheme was rushed. All the investigations were rushed, because you take the Kwabena Dubois matter, for instance. Clearly, from what is happening in court, you could clearly see that the investigations were rushed. You take the Hanan case, for instance, the investigations were rushed. Today, we are being told that they didn't even have any authorization from the court to write on Hanan's home. What lawyers call the grievances, to write on the home of the person that this house is under investigations by Yoko or whatever. That red paint they used to write on people's building. They didn't have any legal authority to do that. It came up in court. They were trying to smuggle in, I am being told, a particular witness statement, which was also struck down by the court. And so if you put the pieces of events together, comes to but one irresistible conclusion, that this government rushed every single investigation. Kojo, I have said times without number that I am not against accountability. The New Patriotic Party, our flag bearer, is not against accountability. We are of the position and the opinion that any person who has served in any governmental position and is suspected to have committed any criminal offense ought to subject himself to the due processes of the law. However, the law safeguards the right of such accused persons or such suspects. The law requires that these persons are subject to fair trial, are innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. But today, the jurisprudence of our criminal justice system has changed. Today in Ghana, rule of law has become rule of discretion. And the right to innocence until proven guilty has become guilty until proven innocent. Today in Ghana, people are pronounced guilty until proven innocent because you have an attorney general of the realm who, before filing charges in the court of law, comes to the media gallery, comes to the public to pronounce guilt on the part of suspects, on the part of accused persons, even before filing charges. You have an attorney general whose modus operandi is to pre-conscientize the Ghanaian people, even before going to court, is to call people criminals, even before going to court. Let's be clear in this case. It is only a court of competent jurisdiction that has the power, that has the authority by law to determine the guilt of accused persons. But today, is that a situation in Ghana? That is not a situation in Ghana. That is not the situation in Ghana. And this is not about Hanan or any individual. It raises serious concerns about the weakness and the reoccurrence of the political weaponization of law enforcement agencies, which is gradually creeping into our criminal justice system. I think that justice today has become a tool for political convenience. And so, Kojo, let us tread cautiously. Politicians, we can do our politics. Let us not try to do politics with our criminal justice system. Let us not try to use bail as punishment. That today you arrest somebody, keep the person in custody for 30 days, arrange the person in court. During midway through CMC, you withdraw charges, re-arrest the person there and there, take him into Yoko's office or Yoko custody, and fail to grant him bail. What is this?
Thank you.
This cannot be rule of law. This can only be rule of discretion. And this is improper. This is improper. And Kojo, let us all, as I learned, let us all come together as Ghanaians to condemn the weaponization and the politicalization of our law enforcement agencies. It is not the best for this country.
I'm grateful to you. Thank you, computer. Now, I remember last year when the Attorney General addressed Ghanaians, he said this had come after a painstaking investigation. So yesterday when that thing happened, I asked, what happened to the painstaking investigation? Didn't they find what they found now?
You Counsel is an officer of the court.
Yeah.
He knows that. And he knows what to do. If he sits here and say people should not do what they are doing, they are weaponizing their discretionary powers or what against
weaponizing bail.
Good. He knows what to do. When Yoko charged Hanan with that bail bond, the 200 million he's talking about, didn't they go to the court to vary it again? They know the path to take. He's an officer of the court. He should be educating us here. But he's doing politics. He's not speaking law. You see, I get fatigue in discussing matters of corruption when it comes to MPP officials and other things. For them, they didn't even fear God. They chased people to court to arrest them. I don't know whether you were not in this country. Were you in this country? You should have asked him. Your government were chasing people in court, even in front of God, to pray to God, to their God. You wanted to arrest them in front of God.
So they were chasing people in the church?
In the church.
Okay.
That's why they were doing it. You see, so for you, your government should stop talking about matters of this nature. You see,
who was chasing church in the church anyway?
Chikata. He was in court praying. They didn't even fear God. This is what they were doing. And you saw what they were doing. They could use even to the extent, look, the then minority or majority leader got the Supreme Court less than 2 hours to empanel people to get judgment for him. You are an officer of the court. What did you say about it? For the first time in the history of Ghana, where somebody, because the person was a member of your party, got the highest court in the land, within 2 hours of filing, got the whole bench to empanel to sit on his matter and got a favorable judgment for himself. What did you do about it? Look
at how you scammed this country for 8 years. The things that you are talking of, when the Leonard Attorney General came in and then entered nolli prosequi on these matters that you mentioned, opponent and other things, for 8 damn good years, were you able to prosecute them? You were wasting their time in court because you have no evidence against them. 8 damn good years. We are not ready to use 8 years to prosecute your people. We are not going to use 8 years to do that. That is why the Attorney General is painstakingly going through this matter. And that is why they said, look, we have uncovered new evidence. As they were doing prosecuting them, we have used their own people who have given us enough evidence about the issue at stake. And that's why they entered the nolli prosequi yesterday and re-arrested them. I'm happy he mentioned that it's legal. We are learning from you. We are students of law. We are not learning from you. But the way you are speaking, we have some of the time we have to be careful with what we learn. When you hear people on TV, you know it's illegal. To what he did, was it illegal? No, it wasn't illegal. So why are you trying to pontificate that something illegal was happened yesterday?
His point is about when the AG comes to the public,
yes,
talks about ABCD, and to him sort of tries to even criminalize the person.
Is it the first time you are seeing that?
And again, this AG says, "Oh, we have preferred these charges after a painstaking investigation."
I'm saying that.
Around to have this.
Is it the first time we are doing this? Is it against our legal system in this country, or under our criminal jurisprudence in this country? Is it illegal for an Attorney General to come and brief the general public about the status of case that he's prosecuting in court? Is it illegal? Is your point to us? Which part of the Constitution that the Leonard Attorney General has done something against? There's nothing like that. And I'm saying that, look, my brother, this is even the beginning. We are just starting. We are warming up. You see, the PDS matter too is coming up. The kind of thing these people did against this country, I'm sure you should have been organizing pastors and imams to be praying and apologizing on your behalf. It's terrible. It's too bad.
So
do you know the amount of money involved in this matter?
Which
look, the amount of money that they are pursuing under the buffer stock. That money that we are talking, you are going to talk about economy alone. See the big push we are doing another thing. Let me even.
How much is being pursued under the Hanan case?
78 million or so.
Over 70 million.
Over 78 million.
It's not a small money. Give me just 1 million. Do you know what I can do for my rural telephony under my agency? My rural communities, even some of your people came requesting. Their community, they don't have network.
Yeah. Yes. Once you mention, please.
Yes.
My whole constituency, Hunter West.
Hunter West.
Our network is terrible.
Good. Thank you very much.
You have to come and resolve that for us.
And
you're my friend, so you have to resolve
Thank you. And somebody is running away with over 70 million of Ghana cedis and want to talk, and you are telling us legality of other things.
You see, you have the
I'm saying that, yes, we are all going through the constitutional means. And the president was spot on. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He said it, that we must allow people their due day in court. We should allow the court to go through the due process. Otherwise, we can't just behave as if we are military government. When we say that the people, we have some alleged corrupt activity and bundle them to Msawan. You see, the president was spot on that matter. He doesn't want to interfere in the matter. He said, allow it. Much as people are so much interested in the process. Because people saw negatively. Just go by electoral commission. There is some big hole over there. A big hole. Council is telling us that he's not against people to come and account. Your former finance minister is a fugitive. Over 90-something million dollars used to dig a big hole. The hole is still lying there. The council you are talking, that money is not a small money. If we are able to get all this money back, it will help you and I. It will help us. It will help because when the country is developed, it's not only NDC people who enjoy. You will enjoy. Now the inflation is hovering over less than 4%, 3.2. Are you not enjoying? We have stabilized the CD. Are you not enjoying? Is it only NDC people who are enjoying that? These are the things we are talking of. And so I'm happy. They should chase them one after the other. If they get enough evidence, they should pursue them. We just want, look, and this time I'm happy that Attorney General was said, we want to recover first.
All right. Thank
you. See, we recover the thing.
Okay.
If you bring it, some have brought, you know that some of their people,
okay,
they secretly brought some of them, they recovered some loot from them. And they mentioned, Yoko mentioned it, the amount of money they recovered from some of them. And some of them will make sure that they pursue them to the letter to get it. And we are not going to make sure that, look, let me put it on record. Nobody is going to disturb the civil right of any of the people that they are being.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
No, we allow the due process to go through.
Thank you. Thank you.
So long as we were not going to disturb the constitutional dictates in handling matters of this nature. And I'm happy. He just clearly stated it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Ebo Duncan, Backman.
Kojo, I mean, we all know that corruption has been the bane of our development. So when issues of corruption comes up, at least we should put off or take off our political colors and put on the national colors. Because whether you like it or not, when somebody takes 78 million from government coffers, what it means is that
use alleged.
Alleged, yes, it's alleged. It's alleged to have taken 78 million from national coffers. What it means is that possibly the young boy who writes on his stomach when he goes to school because there are no desks in the classroom, or the people who sit under trees to learn because they don't have the structure to sit in, it's as a result of the corruption. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So issues of corruption should be taken seriously. And as much as possible, let's be apolitical about it. Let's discuss them dispassionately and objectively. Now, here is the case. They started pursuing the case against Hanan, right? Then, in the course of pursuing the case, they've come out with, or they found new evidence or new information, which requires that they
alter the charges.
They would have to recalibrate their strategy so that they don't go, so that they succeed in prosecuting him. There's nothing wrong with that. If the strategy is to withdraw and rearrest as a way of recalibrating or reconfigure your strategy, it should be done. What we need is the money. And whatever that will take for us to get the money, let's do it. There's no need for you to pursue a case that will not end well when you know that this new evidence can help us to succeed. So for me, there's nothing wrong with that. But
doesn't it feed into the argument of the NPP that this prosecution looks rushed? And that's why we are where we are. Because when they said that, they said no. But today, we've got to a point where the AG says, we have new evidence, we have to...
Kojo, if you are dealing with alleged criminals,
okay,
they are very smart people. Sometimes you might think you have done all the investigations.
Okay.
But you see that by the time you get to the middle of the case, new information will come. But as to whether you will consider it or not, it depends on you. In this case, they are going to consider it because they know it's going to be very, very strong evidence to support their case. So why don't you drop the first one and rearrest so that we can pursue this one to succeed?
Okay.
For me, that should be it. But my major problem, you see, Kojo, whether you like it or not, the kind of legal and judicial architecture we have currently as a nation can never help us to succeed in this fight against corruption.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes,
Why do you say so?
Okay,
let me some successes.
Yes, I mean, look at the percentage of successes. I mean, take Auditor General's report, for example, the money that we lose every year. Look at the corruption cases, high-profile corruption cases that come up every year, and look at how much we've been able to recover as a nation from these things. The reason why I'm saying, look, Kwesi cited the example of the issue of nolle prosequi. And he said something that was very quite interesting. He said it's only the court that can determine whether someone is guilty or not, right? But he ended up saying that the nation lost 10 billion. On what basis did the nation lose the 10 billion? When the court had not, determined the case. Are you getting the point I'm making?
But they're talking about the monies involved.
Yeah, so you shouldn't say the state lost 10 billion.
But you just said Hanan is being pursued for 70-something million.
Listen to what I'm saying. I've not said the state has lost that amount.
What difference does it make?
It makes a difference because it's the court that should determine whether the person is guilty. So if the court determines the person is guilty, then you can say that the 10 billion was indeed, because you made an allegation against someone. The case goes through court for 8 years.
Yes.
You couldn't recover the money. You couldn't also put the person behind bars.
What do they say? They say the wheels of justice grind slowly, not so.
So 8 years after 8 years, per Attorney General's report, they didn't have enough evidence against them. So that is why he entered nolle prosequi. But the point I'm making is that if you say the state lost 10 billion, on what basis are you saying that? Because then that is a very emphatic statement. The state lost 10 billion. I'm saying it's the court that will be able to determine whether somebody is guilty or not. If the person has not, if the court has not determined whether the person is guilty, you can't say the state lost 10 billion.
Then is it also fair in the same argument that the Attorney General would mention the houses of some alleged people to say they used stolen money to buy?
So if they go to court, it's like if they go to court and the court says no, the person didn't see the money, the person goes scot-free.
You've already put the house in disrepute, not so.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the statement that the state, Kojo, you need to get the point I'm making. He made an emphatic statement that due to the nolle prosequi that were entered by the Attorney General, the state lost 10 billion.
Okay.
And I'm saying that if he, per his own statement, and per what he said in respect of rule of law, it is the court that should be able to determine whether someone is guilty or not. So on that score, I don't think that statement was fair to say that that presumes that the people were guilty
before being proven
of the offense. That's why the state lost that money.
Okay.
So, but you see, Kojo, I think I made a statement anyway asking why. I said I don't think the current legal architecture or the judicial architecture we have is effective in combating corruption. And the reason is very simple. Kojo, we have a situation where cases run 7-8 years in court. Look at the number of cases that have come up. These are high-profile political cases. I've just mentioned Auditor General's report, the kind of cases that we have in them. If one case should run 7-8 years in court, how many cases are you going to be able to prosecute? Even in the lifetime of the people who are being accused. Are you getting it? That is why we need to design. We need to design a procedure that would be able to resolve cases in 6 months, 1 year. Are you getting the point? Especially high-profile political criminal cases. You should be able to 6 months, 1 year, you should be able to determine whether the person is guilty or not. But if the case should run, and the court system is that the lawyers know how to, if you like, manipulate the system to cause delays and just to, prolong the cases in court. And this persistent, delay clearly shows we have certain weaknesses in our legal system that is undermining our fight against corruption. The earlier we looked at it and make things better, the better would it be for us. Because whether we like it or not, corruption has been our nemesis as a nation. The figures that we hear, if national service issue, what we've heard about national service issue is anything to go by. If what you've heard about 13th All-African Games is anything to go by. If what we've heard about Mustafa Ahmed issue and all the cases that have come up, if they are anything to go by, and the cases are going to run 8 and 7 years in court, how are we going to succeed in retrieving this money? So within 1 year, you should be able to finish cases, high-profile cases. If the person is guilty, let the person suffer the consequences thereof. If the person is not guilty, let the person go scot-free. That should be the way forward if we really want to succeed in this fight against corruption. I don't think the rate at which we are moving will succeed in recovering the amount of money we want to recover and even punish the kind of the people the way we want to punish them. I don't see things clearly in this the kind of system we have.
BECE?
Kojo, see, colleagues here have said, I don't want to say they've said a lot of nothing, but in all sincerity, all what they are trying to do is to play politics with the matter. I'll take it one after the other. Ebo accuses me of saying that the state
has challenged with your 10 billion loss.
The state, were we not in this country when the respected Honorable Ablakwa, our current foreign minister, on a national platform for the first time, secondly, within the presence of Parliament representing the good people of his constituency, boldly claimed that the NPP appointees have looted over $21 billion. That if this government comes to power, if his government comes to power, they were going to retrieve $21 billion from former NPP appointees. Didn't that happen in this country? I am only making the point that the total amount of monies involved in the cases that the AG filed nolle prosequas in results to the tune of over 10 billion Ghana cedis. That is simply my point. I haven't convicted anybody here like the respected AG does. I haven't said so. I am only giving you a nominal figure of the monies involved. That is why I went on to break down the various,
monies. The state has lost.
I was quiet when you were speaking, without due respect.
I mean, let's be fair to
and so that is I'm referring to the monies involved. Kojo, Honorable Rashid Tanko should respectfully take his time when he is speaking on some of these criminal matters. To say that the NPP scammed Ghanaians, I think that is an unfortunate statement. And it's a statement that the NPP takes exception to. Because Honorable lacks the moral right to say that NPP scammed Ghanaians. He lacks the moral right. And if there is anybody within the NDC who can say that NPP scammed Ghanaians, it shouldn't be Honorable here. It shouldn't be him. When we have opportunity like this and we are speaking to the Ghanaian people, let us choose our words carefully.
But he is a Ghanaian who has the right to speak on these matters.
You can disagree. Yes, he has the right to speak on these matters. But like I'm saying, he lacks the moral locus to say that the political party, the NPP political party, scammed Ghanaians. He lacks the moral locus to do that. He shouldn't do that. It should be the last time he does that. He should never say that anywhere again, that NPP scammed Ghanaians. I have a lot of respect for him, and so he shouldn't say that again anywhere. Kojo, on the Yoko recoveries, the president announced during the State of the Nation's address, the message of the State of the Nation's address, that Yoko had recovered some 600 million Ghana cedis. You recall that after the president made that statement, I filed an RTI with Yoko to demand for the breakdown of the recovery. Still date, Yoko hasn't responded to my RTI. I have currently dragged Yoko to the RTI Commission because you claim you have recovered 600 million Ghana cedis from ORA. Bring us the breakdown. Let us know the people you recovered the monies from. Let us know the cases in which you recovered the monies from. Let us know the accounts in which the 600 million recovered proceeds were paid into. Till today, Yoko has still not responded to my RTI. They have still not responded to my RTI. So this points to but one irresistible conclusion that they have recovered zero. Honorable repeats the same. You see, because I have a lot of respect for him, I keep addressing him as Honorable. Honorable refers to the same thing and says that most of the NPP former appointees have nicodemously returned some of what he describes as the loot. It is untrue. Honorable here should mention one single person, one single appointee of the NPP who has returned anything to the government. He should mention only one person here. Only one person here before we close the issue. Only one. No single NPP appointee has returned any single thing. Because we reject the position that any of our members looted state funds. You see, colleagues here speak and then they reference the Auditor General's report. Kojo, were we not in this country just last week when the Auditor General published some details in their report regarding to the procurement director of the Ministry of Defense that he was paying himself over so many millions of Ghana cedis every year as wages and salary? Were we not in this country? Were we not in this country when they backtracked on that and apologized to the man to say that it was an error? And so the Auditor General's report in itself is not a conclusive document that determines the guilt or anything of anybody. And so when we are speaking on some of these matters, let us tread cautiously. My caution, which I still stand by, is that let us not try to weaponize law enforcement agencies against political opponents.
But because if you
let us not do that.
If you said the
let us not. Let us not. Let me land on this point. Then your question comes in. let the impression not be created that the government is using its prosecutorial authority under Article 88 to witch hunt members of the former government. Let that impression not be created. Because if you assume office and you use your powers under Article 88 party and arrest people, impose unreasonable bail conditions on them, fast forward, arrange them before court, address the public to describe them as criminals, to describe them as thieves, to destroy their reputation, to injure their reputation within the eyes and minds of right-thinking members of society, and midway down during case management conference, you say you have withdrawn the charges because you have obtained fresh evidence. It comes back to my point that the entire investigations surrounding Hanan's matter, Edubuahi's matter also, were rushed. Yoko did not do a very diligent job with those investigations. And it is at the middle of trial that the AG himself has realized that he was deceived by the investigators. In any serious jurisdiction, investigators would be facing consequences and sanctions for misleading the Attorney General because you are prosecuting using state resources. And you go into a prosecution 1 year down the line, 365 days down the line, you come back to tell the good people of this country that the very person I announced to you that is a criminal is not a criminal and I have withdrawn charges against him because I am now beginning to see the realities in the matter. And it is not conclusive also that the new evidence that the AG tells us that he has uncovered carries any material weight. It is not conclusive. Okay. It is only the word of the Attorney General. And so, Kojo, as I land, I am not against holding anybody accountable. I am against using the law as a tool for political convenience, manipulating the law. And let me tell Rashid here that I am not one of those who will be gaslighted with some of the saying that you are a lawyer, you are an officer of the court, you are this, you are... No, those gaslighting doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me at all. Let's speak to the facts. Let's speak to the issues. Okay. The point is that your government has weaponized law enforcement agencies. Your government is using justice as a tool for political convenience. Your government is only pursuing members affiliated to the opposition government. Your government is using the law to silence political opponents. Your government...
But because if it's government, there's not been one person who's been alleged to have engaged in corruption.
And I'm telling you that there are several persons who are standing trial at various stages. Right. When they came, what did they do about it?
Thank you. I'm grateful.
What did they do about it?
Okay.
Counsel, see, if you understand who Tanko Computer is, people don't teach me how to speak, how to use. If you have anything against me, you know what to do. If you have anything against me, you see me like that, I'm a free person, free-minded. If you have anything, you can say it, or you know the right place to go. If you think computer did something or something, you know the right place to go, and you know what to do. I'll use anything, I'll repeat it and continue to repeat it. If you hadn't scammed this country, you think you would have gotten 38%. That's why they voted against you people. And I'm saying that if you have anything against me, you think that I don't have any moral right to use the word scam, you know the place to do, where to exact your right and make sure that that right accrue to me, that moral right accrue to me, you can take it away from me. You are an officer of the court. You know what to do.
Why are you referring,
I'm saying that.
Why are you referring to 38 when it's 40?
Oh, my brother. Well, look, don't forget, I'm still a deputy director of elections. And I prosecuted the elections. And I know the figures very well. Hey. And I was the forefront. And when it comes to election, don't come there. I know what I'm talking about. These people, Ghanaians by their nature, today, if you conduct election, if they get 30%, said they've tried. With this kind of their posturing, who will vote for them?
Okay.
And look, let's face it. When we are talking about matters of this nature, and they say we are weaponizing the court, are you aware of Afoko case? The case that was being prosecuted. For over 4 years, the murder trial went through. The judge adjourned the case to give his judgment. On the day of delivering the judgment, your Attorney General
went to court and withdrew the matter and rearrested Afoko again. What are you to say about it? What are you to say about it? The learned Attorney General then, Godfrey Dami, withdrew the matter when judgment was about to be delivered. Rearrested the gentleman. Even when the gentleman was given a bail, what did you people do? You refuse. You refuse to allow him to go. We're in this country. We are yet to go to that path. We will not go that path at all. We will not tread that path we went. But we are saying that, look, we are learning. We are all learning. We are all students of the law. Fortunately, you are there, and you understand this thing better. When you say things like this, as that we are weaponizing the state security against our opponents, give us an example. Who have we gone using the state apparatus to illegally arrest or detain the person without going through the due process? All these things. Why are we still traversing this matter in court? If it were to be some of the things that happened under your regime, I don't think we would have been where we are today. We don't think we would have been where we are today. But what have we seen? What have we seen? Today you filed this thing. They will go and file a case today. Tomorrow the lawyers will come with a different matter. They will come with issues upon issues. And since the whole thing is delaying the whole processes. But that is the law. That is the process. We have to go through it. And so if the Leonard Attorney General haven't seen that the first one they filed against him, they've uncovered a fresh evidence, which they think with those ones, it will give them fair trial, and then they will have their day in court. So this matter will not traverse this long period that you also had for 8 years. You couldn't do any better prosecution. Wasted state resources, chasing them just because they were NDC appointees. We wouldn't go that path. We are not going to go 4 or 8 years on that thing. Of course, we are going to be in government after 2028. We'll continue to be in office, but we'll make sure that we'll get proper prosecution and we'll get judgment on this matter before we even go to 2028 elections. That is what we are going to do, because Ghanaians are waiting for it.
What if the judgment don't go in your favor?
Oh, but that is a court. It's a court. Okay. We can't do anything about it. If the court decide that, look, these people are not guilty, the NDC will accept it because we respect the judiciary. We respect them. We have respected a lot. We lost a lot of high-profile cases in court under our regime here. Okay. Look at the Kwandaya issue. We lost it. We accepted it in good faith. We lost the Suhum case. We lost it. This is a high-profile case that we're pursuing. We respected the decision of the court. We are respected of the law. We are not a bunch of illegal people who will just sit down and say that we will respect the court decision and therefore the court can go to hell. The NDC will not do that. The NDC will not do that. So I can assure you, what we are doing is that we will make sure that we respect the liberties of everybody in this country. We will respect it. And we'll make sure that they go through the right process. But I'm saying, Kojo, I am here and I'm very clear in my mind that the learned Attorney General will not do anything against the alleged people that he's sending to court. He will not do anything against their civil liberties or all that. He will make sure that they will be given fair trial. They will be given, in fact, they have the best of lawyers. I know MPP. They have one of the best brains in this country. Okay. I've learned under some of them. Some of them are my lecturers, and I know who they are. Okay. And they are representing some of these people. So what is their fear? Okay. If you have such best brains representing you in court, what is your fear?
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Yeah, Kojo, I think when I said Kwesi made a mistake by saying that the state lost 10 billion, I was right, and he was wrong. And so I don't see why he said, I said nothing. I'm not here to say nothing. I'm here to say something, and I said something. And I proved to you that you were wrong to say that a lawyer saying that the state lost 10 billion when the court has not made a decision. But could you let me explain this? This issue of one is innocent until is proven guilty. Let me explain for people who don't know law. I'm not a lawyer to understand it. Kojo, if I steal your phone right now, if after this program I steal your phone, I run away with your phone, I've not stolen your phone until the court says I've stolen your phone. If I steal your phone from your pocket right now and I go, I've not stolen your phone unless the court says I've stolen your phone.
But if I catch you and take it from you, fiscal.
Yes, so if you catch me, take from me, you get your phone back.
Yeah.
But if I go with it, I've not stolen your phone until the court says I've stolen your phone. What it means is that we know people have stolen, but because court has not said they have stolen, they have not stolen. That's what it means. So that issue, we need to make it clear for people to understand that yes, that is the meaning of one is proven innocent, one is innocent until he's proven guilty by the court. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
So even if you know someone who, before his party came to power, who could not buy car tie or rent a single room, in the 4 years that his party came to power, the person has mansions, about 5 cars in his house. He's not stolen any money, unless the court says he has stolen money. Are you getting the point I'm making? Yeah. Even though you know that Kwesi or Kweku or Kojo, you know the kind of work you do. Even your 20 year salary untouched cannot even buy the kind of house you are living in. But the person has not stolen, unless the court says so. That's what it means. But you see, I want to tell this government, Ghanaians are more interested in this overall thing than in rate of inflation.
Okay, all right.
Ghanaians are more interested in how we are going to prosecute people to either recover and put them behind bars than the rate of interest or the lending rate at the bank.
All right.
So please, if you're going to handle this oral issue, make sure that you handle it well to the satisfaction of Ghanaians. Because one of the reasons why Ghanaians voted massively for this government is because of the oral.
Okay.
We've suffered for too long in this country. People have stolen from this country. We've suffered as a nation because of corruption. Look at our hospitals, look at our roads, look at our schools. Because certain individuals, when they get opportunity to serve this country, they siphon, they put straw into our resources and siphon the resources for their personal gains. And that has been the nemesis of this country in terms of our quest to develop.
Thank you very much.
Before we go, quick one.
If he comes,
you can have your time, no problem. I'm seeking permission from the chair. You are not the chair. You are not the chair.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Tanko says that I should give you 30 seconds.
Very well. No, Tanko cannot decide.
He says
no, you are the chair.
I know, but he will speak to it. Go on.
But you see, then I'll use the 30 seconds to respond to Tanko. Tanko looks like he has a reckless disregard for the truth. You corrected him when he mentioned that the MPP got 38% in the last election. You corrected him. He shouldn't do that. Tanko, you are one of the first people that the next MPP government will come after. So when you ask I'm ready for you. Think very well. I'm here. Because if you want to change today, you are one of the first people that we are going to come illegality that if the MPP comes to power today, we will come after you. We will come after you. When we not in this country, you're asking the question. You said no.
So you request for 30 seconds.
My 30 seconds is now. They have spent my 30 seconds. You took 30 seconds of my time. My 30 seconds. I haven't landed. I haven't landed. I am making my point. Your premises for I am making my point. I am making my point.
Gentlemen, please.
Let me finish my point and then you can come in. Kojo. No, we are cool. We are cool. Let me make my point.
30 is gone.
No, let me make my point.
I have only 10 minutes. I have to talk about the BOG.
But you come back to
let's talk about BOG.
Before we go into BOG.
Let's talk about BOG. We have only 10 minutes. Now it's even 8 minutes.
That's fine. Before I'll go into BOG.
I'll give you just 2 minutes.
I'll use just 1 minute to deal with the BOG matter. Okay. Let me go to the most important point. You see, Tanko repeatedly says that we have scammed, MPP have scammed Ghanaians. I want to let should I say former doctor or doctor?
That is all that you want to say. That's why you want to say.
That's all that you want to say. But we are going to say. But I'm asking you a question. But I want you to know. I want you to know that we will not take those remarks from you.
The
MPP will not take those remarks from you.
I have no problem with that. If you accept or not, that's my problem.
Because if you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones.
Which of the glasses? So you see your problem. That's why I'm saying that. You see, why do you have to wait for another 30 years before you can talk about this matter?
Because your government is in power. Your government is in power, and that is why you are walking around with your chest out and walking around with all form of boldness and temerity to be saying that MPP has scammed Ghanaians. You have the audacity to say MPP has scammed Ghanaians.
Let's go to Bangkok.
Please.
Now, the majority is explaining that if you look at the stability of the economy, there had to be a rate.
We have a long way to go.
The negative equity you guys speak about is the reason why the economy has stabilized. Kwesi, let me start with you again, because this is, you are alleging something. The majority is saying that if you look at the economy is so good that what the Bank of Ghana has been able to do, it should account for the loss that they've incurred.
You see, we are not alleging.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
We are not alleging. Kojo, the premise is that it was the majority that came out to tell us that the BOG has made some 15.6 billion losses. But let me start from the premise that the majority announcing the audited financial statement of the BOG in itself is an illegality. Because if you look at Section 58 of the BOG Act, it is not the job of the majority caucus of Parliament to announce the audited account of the Bank of Ghana.
Yeah, that's true.
The sequence, the law provides for a precise sequence for which the BOG ought to follow to announce its financial audited statement or its audited account. And the law is that, if you look at Section 58(1) of the BOG Act, the law is very clear that the audited account must go to Parliament for Parliament to scrutinize BOG, because it is Parliament that has an oversight role over the Bank of Ghana.
The majority are in Parliament, not so.
No, but it's Parliament made up of only the majority. The majority is made up of the NDC MPs, members of Parliament representing the NDC party, or persons or MPs in Parliament on the ticket of the NDC. And so the BOG gave their audited accounts to the NDC side of the House in Parliament. But the point here is very clear, that the official 15.6 billion figure understates the real losses of the Bank of Ghana. Why do I say so? And I say so because if, Kojo, you take the recorded losses under comprehensive income, which is 19.3 billion, and also you reverse the 9.6 billion from the gold sales, the total loss of the Bank of Ghana would come to 44 billion Ghana cedis. And that is what we are talking about here. Because this is a government.
If you reverse what?
If you reverse the gold sale, the gold that they sold recently. Yeah. If you reverse that sale, that brings us to about 9.6 billion Ghana cedis. And if you add the other comprehensive losses that was made by the bank, it brings the total to 44 billion Ghana cedis. That is what the point I'm making. But you see, this government is very quick. Anytime you raise a red flag about any of its operations, the minority has raised several red flags, including the fact that the BOG currently is now insolvent, and that it would take the BOG to print more cash or resort to lenders in order for the BOG to be very solvent. They are policy insolvent now.
What did they insolvent?
No, Kojo, I'll come there. But let me just clear this. Before I lose my thought, let me just clear this quickly. Anytime you raise a red flag about the actions of this government regarding the economy, they tell you inflation is down. You took inflation from 23% to 5%. That is about 18% difference. And you have made a loss of 44 billion. The previous government, the MPP government, took inflation from 54% to 23%. That is a reduction in 31% difference. Even as we didn't make a loss. We increased our gold reserves from about 8 tons to about 31 tons.
Okay.
We added about 22 tons to our gold reserves. You have added only 7 tons, and you are making very, very, very serious losses. Kojo, this is unacceptable.
I'm grateful.
You talk about it, Kojo, as a land.
We don't have time.
Kojo, as a land.
I'm grateful.
These people should give them 30 seconds each. Kojo, you should give them 30 seconds each. You should give them 30 seconds each.
When they incur the loss and they explain, you said they were incompetent and they shouldn't take it. And you want us to take that, Kojo, stability is why the losses come.
These are the things they do.
Okay.
When I speak, they say they will arrest me when they come to office.
Oh yeah, that's for you there. As for you, I can promise you for free.
Meanwhile,
no, as for you, I can promise you.
From here, counsel will go to court. He's always going to court. I always see him there when I go and we are chasing I see him in court. It's one of their legal distance. Why don't you use the court now? You want to wait for some years before you use the court again?
No, because now
it is your trouble for long.
It is your people who are in the various law enforcement agencies.
So is it your problem?
And that is why you are very bold.
You know what?
Are you when we come to power?
Listen, 2022, Bank of Ghana posts 60.81 billion losses.
What was the cost? What was the cost of these losses?
2022.
What were the causes?
You know what?
Oh, allow him. We don't have time.
What were the causes
at that time,
of this loss?
You know the inflation. That was the time these people recklessly sent us to 50-something%. 50-something. Inflation was hovering around that time. Interest rates, another thing, skyrocketed. The country was free flow. It was free flow. So we didn't even know what our head into. Every day, everybody was praying to survive. Because, look, everybody was crying in this country. At that time, do you know what they were doing to stabilize? They were printing this in CDs over there. They were just printing, reprinting, and pre-printing. Now, Bank of Ghana issued a statement. I'm sure, Council, have you seen the statement?
I am told
No, have you seen the statement, Bank of Ghana statement?
Our time is that we have to go for a live broadcast.
So you see, you allow counsel to get away with
I didn't know the live
broadcast. Because he wanted to listen to the facts. He wanted to listen to the facts.
We let him understand that.
Let me understand
what. The losses of
let me understand what. Your bank has had 44 billion losses. It's not a people to apologize to the government, the people of Ghana. What are you doing?
Kojo, you have built counsel. You wanted to get him understand.
He hasn't built. You people had your time.
You said nothing about the economy.
You had your time. And you allowed him to say nothing about the economy.
Well, thank you, computer. Ebo Backman, I'm grateful. We'll take a break here. I've seen your message, but because of time, I cannot read it. Forgive me. We'll take a break here. I'll be back with a lot more on the show. Please do stay with us.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. He did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it they carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it they make water they flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Welcome to Sulas Enterprise, the shop that deals in industrial machinery such as generators, rice millers, water pumps, compressors, and mowers. From the smallest to the largest capacity, at Sulas Enterprise, we give you nothing but the best from the best brands such as Honda and Perkins. When it comes to our generators, we also sell mowers coming from brands like Honda, Briggs and Straton, and Oleoma. And when it comes to our water pumps, we offer you brands like Lily, Prudin, and Pedrolo water pumps. We also sell rice millers for all capacities. We are located at Spintex, Kakalika Plaza. Also, find our various locations as displayed on screen, or call us on the following numbers: 0243-839-463 or 0554-154-416 or 0240-541-493.
Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability.
Across Ghana, in communities big and small, ordinary people are doing extraordinary things. This is the Joy News Impact Makers Awards 2026, celebrating those who are changing lives, shaping futures, and building hope. From Bimbila in the northern region, Faith Jakpasu is transforming classrooms through innovation, inclusive learning, and life-changing initiatives for students, teachers, and vulnerable communities. From Aflao in the Volta region, Felix Akakbo is building schools, supporting students, and investing in the future of an entire community. In health, from Winneba in the central region, Amos Ando is turning his personal battle with sickle cell into a national movement for awareness, prevention, and policy change. From Nkwanta in the Oti region, Bless Lantam is delivering life-changing healthcare to hard-to-reach communities, even in the face of conflict. From Insawame Dwejri in the eastern region, Antonio Say is restoring mobility, dignity, and opportunity through prosthetics and outreach across Ghana. From Adenta in the Greater Accra region, Valerie Ajatia is empowering amputees with hope, rehabilitation, and the courage to rebuild their lives. From Anyanui and Loga in the Volta region, Reverend Christian Valeto is rescuing, treating, and reintegrating neglected mental health patients back into society. From Akuse in the eastern region, Alberta Aite is mentoring, educating, and empowering over 1,000 girls to dream beyond limitations. From Breku in the central region, Isabella Akwabwa fighting period poverty and equipping women and girls with skills for independence. In Wash, from Sirigu in the Upper East region, Dr. Anthony Akunzule is improving livelihoods through clean water, education, and economic opportunities for women. From Akache in the Volta region, Senior Bomita is transforming communities through schools, clean water, healthcare access, and youth empowerment. And for the Corporate Partner Award from the Cape Coast Youth Development Association is empowering thousands of young people through education, skills training, and community development. These are not just finalists. These are change makers. They are nation builders. They are Ghana's true heroes. Joy News Impact Makers Awards, celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impacts. Who takes this home?
The 2026 Joy News Impact Makers Awards is brought to you by Ghana CEO Summit, a decade of leadership impact. Labadi Beach Hotel, Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Abakun, Services Bebre, New Crystal Hospital, growing in good health. Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability. Water Aid Ghana, change starts with water. Ghana Chamber of Mines.
Now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park. Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown cranes, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults? This price for teenagers. This is for kids. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Thank you for staying with us. You're watching the AM show. Now, let's talk about the Africa Non-Profit Summit that's nearly happening. And joining me in studio is Shirley Abedi-Boafo. She is founder and CEO for the National Consortium for Voluntary Organization. I've also got Constance Ajaman. She is co-founder, Partnership Bureau. I've also got Michael Kwame Akwa, Chief Operations Officer at the National Consortium for Voluntary Organization. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in studio. Okay, I see really big organizations, but let's start with the National Consortium for Voluntary Organization. You want to tell me about it first?
Okay. So, National Consortium for Voluntary Organization is an organization set up to support the nonprofit sector across Africa. We set it up because we realized that the importance of the sector in Ghana and also across the world. So what we do is we offer consultancy service and training for nonprofits, building their capacity so that they'll be able to serve their constituents effectively.
Okay, it's one of those organizations that the name just speaks to the work that it does. Okay, then Constance, you tell me about the Partnership Bureau.
So Partnership Bureau, the name also says, it's really about partnerships and collaborations for more effective social change. So we really support people to come together, to work together and plan to do action.
Okay. So these two organizations have come together and organizing what? Africa Non-Profit Summit. This is where I go to the Chief Operations Officer to tell me about it.
Okay, so the Africa Non-Profit Summit is a flagship event of NCVO Ghana and Partnership Bureau. And the main idea of the summit is to convene the sector. So we're looking at the various players, we're looking at funders, innovators, grassroots organizations, CBOs, just to come together for some shared learning, for some collaboration as a whole, and then, to gain some practical insights. A lot of nonprofits are there, but they don't necessarily have that skill set because, truth be told, you don't necessarily go to school to start the nonprofit work. It's usually passion-driven. And so we are given the skill, the resources to be able to enable them to serve their communities effectively.
It's just to suggest that you identified a gap. But what is inspiring what you're doing, Shirley? What's inspiring it?
I think we definitely identified the gap in the sense that I was working in the UK for about 25 years in the sector, and I realized that the support that nonprofits were getting in the UK wasn't like that in Ghana. So we identified the gap and we filled in the gap.
Okay.
So definitely there was a gap there.
Okay. This year, Constance, what's the theme? What are we seeking to achieve?
Well, as always, we want to empower nonprofits, and we're looking at innovation for sustainability. We want to ensure that these organizations have the capabilities and the skills to continue to do the work that they're doing to really support their communities. So we provide a range of advice and guidance with the likes of the GRA, the NPO, SNIT, so that they understand compliance and what they actually need to be doing to be compliant organizations, because that will help them operate more effectively. But then we also do capacity building with things like leadership. How do you use AI more effectively in your organization? How do you talk about impact and evaluation? So there's a range of capacity building, but really factual knowledge learning and the real opportunity to network, because as we say, collaboration creates better opportunities.
Okay. Michael, for operations, I like to think that your work is extended to other organizations, in Ghana or maybe beyond, because of course this is Africa. How would you describe the ecosystem, the non-profits ecosystem?
So the ecosystem has seen a number of changes over the period. We've had decline in funding and things like that. And that is why the African Non-Profit Summit is there to fill that gap. How do we do things differently? How do we innovate? What are the things that are new? How do we keep track of some of these things? And that is the reason why this was set up, to provide nonprofits with that skill set, with that resource, with that community to engage and, work together, collaborate and things like that.
I think that Michael's answer would feed into the question that I'm asking, the real-time challenges. He mentioned funding, but a few things that you're also seeking to do is a scale acquisition, the learning, leadership, and all of that. But these are very tangible challenges, you say, Shirley, if I enter the system, I would find.
Yes, you would. Definitely, because especially the funding aspect, we are all over US aid. And it's not only them as well, and also because the nonprofit space is expanding in Ghana, funding has become very, very competitive.
Yeah.
So we are trying to show them innovative ways to generate funds.
That's cool.
Yes. For instance, just last week, we went to Tamale to do training on resource mobilization, how to mobilize resource. In Ghana, it can be done, but some people think it cannot be done. So these are some of the things that we want to teach them, that you don't only have to depend from funds from overseas, because now the fund is not, so are you going to hold up? Are you going to stop, doing what you are doing? So these are some of the innovative ways that I want to come up with. And I think also ask the question, Michael said about some of the struggles.
Yeah.
Another thing we've also identified is the regulation. Every regulation is changing. For instance, this year, the MPO directive is changing, but how many people know of it? So we are coming up with a playbook whereby we are going to list all the compliance aspects, GRA, SNITs, MPO, and Register General in a book, so that it will be easy for them to access.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That really sounds amazing. So you're launching this?
Yes.
Or you have something you're doing before the launch, or what? Tell me, Constance.
We are going to launch the compliance guide book at the event on the 12th of May at the hall. It's really important for us that we can support the conversations that we have with tangible knowledge for the non-profit organizations. And so talking about the values that we all share, looking at what are the step-by-step needs of all of these organizations to be compliant, but also thinking about what are the financial requirements that you need as an organization to have? What are the policies and the standards that you need to keep? Because these are all things that we're not necessarily taught. When we come into the not-profit sector, it's passion-driven, as Michael said. And so these are skills that we have to acquire. So whatever we can do as a consortia to help the other non-profits understand some of the struggles that we've been through, the ones that we've been supporting other organizations through, something tangible will really help them.
If anybody started an NGO and maybe they just got tired and gave up, they can come to the summit and probably revive and rekindle the appetite for it, right?
We hope so.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's happening on the 12th day of May. That's just next week?
Yes, next week.
Okay, Michael, a little more information. Where did you say it's happening? Constance said where?
Yes, there is a conference hall, University of Ghana.
Okay.
It's happening from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Yes, at the ISA conference hall. And if you want to register, you can call 059 28.
Be gentle. Be very non-for-profit with the number. Okay, let's go.
So I'll take it again very slowly.
Okay.
059 28 97 479. If you want to sponsor, you want to make any inquiries, you can call that number.
Okay, say the number. This one.
059 28 97 479. If you want to make any inquiries, you can call that number, or you can visit africanonprofitsummit.com to register. It's our website. And as well, you can also send an email to info@ncvoghana.org.
Okay, so what do we have to do? Just take a shower, not pay for anything, and then show up at 8 a.m. or what?
Okay, right. So Constance,
okay. So we want to ensure that we can put on a good event. And as we say, there is a cost that is there, but it's a minimal cost. So it's 250 cities to be able to attend. But what you get in terms of value for that, we've talked about the guide, we've talked about the workshops, we've talked about the panel discussion. So we're not just telling you about compliance. Representatives from each of those core organizations we've talked about will be there to answer your questions directly.
Okay.
So there is so much more value than the entry fee that is there. But we also want to be able to feed you and everything else. So
yeah. Oh, you guys are kind. Okay. So we have a date, all right? We have a date on the 12th of May. That's next week. That's Tuesday, 8 a.m., University of Ghana. What conference?
It's a conference.
It's a conference room at the University of Ghana. Shirley, you've got any final words?
Yes, I have. So what we are also trying to do is we try to bring new trends that's happening in the non-profit sector. And we all know about AI. So this year, all the topics that we are going to talk about is infused with AI. We have panel discussion on it. For instance, the topics we are treating: leadership, resource mobilization, monitoring and evaluation, leadership. So we are going to have a panel discussion with a very experienced AI expert from Deloitte, discussing how do we infuse AI into all these topics. That's 1 hour.
Okay.
So that's very, very, very essential. We all know what AI, people are scared of AI, but AI is not that scary. It helps us to enhance the work that we are doing. So this is a very special aspect that we are adding to the summit. Last year we did it, but this one we want to have a proper summit, a proper panel discussion about it. And we also make sure that every topic that you are talking about, you have to make sure that you infuse AI in there.
Okay.
So it will help us, yeah.
All right. It was good having you in studio. We have a date. I'll see you all on the 12th of May next week. Constance, Michael, Shirley, have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Please stay with us. There's more on the show.
Shield silicone paint repels water, dispels water vapor, is washable, self-cleaning, and durable. Now, you can appreciate how and why Shield silicone paint is super strong and thus able to do what other paints cannot do. Shield silicone paint from Azar Group since 1921.
Eko becho ake wobu noni wosumo be kume ejion shikenisa koni lahi sani akaba. Heba moje noni jiji oda ne eji tuebo alo tuefe mu kokobo ofe ni bibi je jale pena
lahi afaba fo jo shishinke jomino ake makwemi hino jodwan.
Good Conduct, Great Life is brought to you by
Indomie.
Tastes great.
More Kivo inside. Kivo Gari Soaking Mix. Taste of Ghana.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the bliss. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time, our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat, undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown crane, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults, this price for teenagers. It's bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Over a decade, a platform has quietly shaped conversations, celebrated excellence, and honored the women building Ghana's future. The Ghana Female CEOs Summit and the Ghana Women of the Year honors have stood as symbols of impact, leadership, and legacy. This year, we raised the bar. For the first time ever, two powerful platforms come together for a two-day experience designed to inform, inspire, and celebrate. Day one, the Ghana Female CEOs Summit, a gathering of bold thinkers and industry leaders driving real conversations through keynotes, panels, curated masterclasses, and shared insight. Day two, the Ghana Women of the Year honors, a prestigious night dedicated to recognizing women making exceptional impact across industries. Taking place on the 7th and 8th of May 2026 at the iconic Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, Accra. For registration and more information, visit glitzafrica.com.
Well, I'm excited to talk about these two very important events. If you're a stranger in Ghana, I'm sorry for you. You definitely know the woman who's behind all of this. Let's talk about women driving sustainable businesses for a resilient Africa. And Claudia Lumo, the founder of Glitz Africa and many other related summits or awards, is joining me in studio. Pleasure to have you, Claudia, in studio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we've heard a lot about it, but I see this year there are two things you're doing. Tell me, for those who do not know about the Ghana Female CEO Summit and the honors as well, tell me about them.
So thank you very much, Emefa. So we started, this is our 11th year, and when we started, we used to do the Ghana Female CEO Summit beginning first quarter of the year, and then towards the last quarter of the year, we will do the Ghana Women of the Year honors. But I believe after creating a platform that our focus was spotlighting women in leadership and telling real successful stories and having conferences that bring emerging leaders and for leaders to connect. After 10 years of impact and creating an influential platform like that, together with our advisory council, they advised us to put the two platforms together. So, and we're very excited about it as well. And we can see that people are also really excited about that. So we're having a 2-day conference now, and then the honors will be the evening of the second day. Okay. That's what's happening for the 11th year. And I think what is even more exciting for me as well is on the second day, maybe we'll talk about that later, but on the second day, we have a masterclass at the beginning. And for me, after 10 years of creating impact, what a better way to start the 11th year of with added value for women in leadership and business is to create masterclass experiences for them. So you have masterclass in trade, you have masterclass for women in energy, mining, fintech, real estate. So it's really something I'm looking forward to.
We'll talk about this masterclass. I've just written it down. So it's happening tomorrow already, 7th and 8th. We'll direct people there. But selecting women for a particular criteria would be very difficult. What went into the selection?
Yeah, so we always put out weeks before in media and other platforms for women or people to send in why somebody is Woman of the Year for different categories. So people send in stories, and for us, the focus is not about show or stage. It's about real impact. Women who are making real impact in their industry. So it's about how they are building their industry, how they're using their platform for nation building, what their journey has been so far. And that's really what the criteria is based on. It's about impact, innovation, their leadership, and how they are also building our country, and also their impact even, not just some of them, not just even in Africa, in Ghana, just on the continent as well. So these are some of the things that we look, the board will look at. And for me, if you followed our journey, you will see that all the women that passed through, or we say the Hall of Fame, to be a Woman of the Year under Glitz Africa has been women that we all can connect and say, you know what, this is somebody I aspire, you know, not even just to be, but to learn from their journey. These are women who are graceful, women who are genuinely, you know, doing things that are impacting their area and impacting our country.
I see that you did that even with the name of most of the things that you do. Africa. It's not just in Ghana. Okay, so just for clarity, tomorrow we'll focus on which one, and then the 8th we'll focus on which one?
So tomorrow is our opening, we'll say opening ceremony in the morning. But tomorrow is a conference itself. So in the morning, we have the Minister for Trade, we have the President, Chief of Staff, we have former President of Liberia and former Vice President of Liberia. They're all arriving. We have very high-level keynote speaking and special guests arriving for the morning session. And then in the afternoon, we have different panels, conversations. So we have panels on energy, tech, trade, hospitality and tourism, women in all of those areas, really discussing conversations that we believe will shape policies and change the direction of some of these industries in our country. And then Friday morning is when we have the masterclass as well. Masterclass will finish around 2 o'clock, and at 7 p.m. we will have the Women of the Year honors. Yeah, where we are honoring amazing 12 women. And what is so beautiful for me at Ghana Women of the Year is the documentary that we built for each of the women. So when you've been there, I've had men and children, you know, come to me at Ghana Women of the Year and say, Claudia, nobody in this room will leave the same again. Nice. And for me, that is everything for us. So we focus our attention on our journey, on the journey of these women. So we premiere all of that, each one of them in the evening, because it's their story that we're telling. So somebody like Matilda, you know, she started with you know, multimedia, and now so we followed her journey, going from multimedia, now going to Access Bank, and now to be the deputy governor. I want my daughter to listen to that.
I definitely want to re-listen to that story again.
So that is what we are telling, that real success stories of impact. And she was a former gender minister. You know, people think that she just became deputy chief of staff. No, this woman was a minister before. She drove a lot of female advocacy work in this country, was her thing. Auntie Joyce Ayi, who wouldn't want to sit on the knee of, you know, at the table with Auntie Joyce Ayi. So these are women, real impactful women, and we have the youngest female doctor in the country. We're telling her story as well. So it's really beautiful things happening Friday evening.
Let's tell people how they can be part of it. That's what's important to me. You don't want to miss that opportunity to hear stories of women making impact. How can we purchase tickets to be part of this?
Yeah, so we've made everything very simple for people. You just go to glitzafrica.com. You have all the information there. You can register. We will reach out to you. You can get your ticket. Everything is being done there. Or you can also follow us as well. Okay. On glitzafrica_HQ or Ghana Female CEO Summit or Women of the Year.
If you did a one-time purchase of a ticket, does it take you through the 2 days?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so we do have package for that. Okay. So you can have the 2-day conference and the awards as well.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, hearing you now, this may be a tough one. Would it eliminate what we've been seeing getting to the end of the year? Because then you've done a measure. Or are we expecting to see another event later in the year?
We have the Glitz Africa Fashion Week.
Yes.
Everybody, now, on the streets, everybody, Claudia, bring Glitz Fashion Week. Claudia, bring Fashion Week.
Okay, that's the person to hear. Okay. I won't let you go if you don't say something. That's your camera. I need you to talk to a young woman watching you, Claudia, first of all, and having to put you aside and wanting to recognize women doing a lot in this country and beyond. They like to hear you.
Okay, what I would say is, I think anybody that followed my journey or close to me will know that I'm a woman of service. I have a heart of service. I serve. I don't, whether you're up there or low, wherever, I don't see people, I see service. So what I would say to young people is have a heart of service. Everybody wants to be successful. Young people are in a rush to be successful, but they are not ready to serve. And that's what I would say. And whatever you're doing, focus and do that with integrity. Because people see integrity, people respect integrity, and that is what will take you where you're going.
Okay, Claudia. always. Did I miss anything? Okay, no, I don't think. So if you just like to hear it again, so you can purchase tickets via www.glitsafrica.com, or if you love your phone so much, you can dial *713*333*708#. My director loves you very much. He's put the information back on the screen. On all networks, you can as well call 050-158-1266. The numbers are on the screen. Another one you can call 050-9388-900. Last one, 050-9388-909. You don't want to miss this opportunity. I like the fashion that happens during the 2 days, really. I love it, Claudia.
On the front seat.
So, yes. I definitely will see you, Claudia.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. And stay on it.
And thank you for multimedia to supporting us to what we're telling stories of great women. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please stay on the show. Be right back.
Mothers give us everything: love, strength, and life itself. And it's time to give back. Joy FM
presents the Joy Mommy's Day Out.
Join us on Saturday,
May 9th,
for a day bursting with thrills. We'll have your day packed with irresistible activities like paddle boating on calm waters, an adrenaline rush with horseback riding, quad biking, exciting safari tour, friendly competitions such as dance contests, and wrap the prize, a chance to meet the mysterious Ujafokwa crocodile, revered as the protector, and to top it all off, a delicious feast of local dishes and drinks, accompanied by the sensational sounds of the Ajinkor Band. Come, let's crown our mothers with joy and adventure at the Crown Forest. For inquiries, call Lois on 059-1709-309. The Joy FM Crown Forest experience is proudly brought to you by the Crown Forest, where nature meets luxury.
Every day we move through our cities, fighting traffic, chasing time, and trying to make a living. But what if our cities worked better for us? Joy News, together with the amalgam of professional bodies, brings you a conversation that speaks to everyday life. Centers of prosperity at the center of the world. A closer look at how better city management can drive economic growth. Join the main speaker, David Ofosudote, as he breaks down what's not working and what must change. Wednesday, 6th May 2026 at 5 p.m. Live on Joy News and all our social media platforms. Better cities don't happen by chance. They are planned.
Across Ghana, in communities big and small, ordinary people are doing extraordinary things. This is the Joy News Impact Makers Awards 2026, celebrating those who are changing lives, shaping futures, and building hope. From Bimbila in the northern region, Faith Jakpasu is transforming classrooms through innovation, inclusive learning, and life-changing initiatives for students, teachers, and vulnerable communities. From Aflao in the Volta region, Felix Akakbo is building schools schools, supporting students, and investing in the future of an entire community. In health, from Winneba in the Central Region, Amos Ando is turning his personal battle with sickle cell into a national movement for awareness, prevention, and policy change. From Nkwanta in the Oti Region, Bless Lantam is delivering life-changing healthcare to hard-to-reach communities, even in the face of conflict. From Insawamed Wejri in the Eastern Region, Antonio Say is restoring mobility, dignity, and opportunity through prosthetics and outreach across Ghana. From Adenta in the Greater Accra Region, Valerie Ajatia is empowering amputees with hope, rehabilitation, and the courage to rebuild their lives. From Anyanui and Loga in the Volta Region, Reverend Christian Valeto is rescuing, treating, and reintegrating neglected mental health patients back into society. From Akuse in the Eastern Region, Alberta Aite is mentoring, educating, and empowering over 1,000 girls to dream beyond limitations. From Breku in the Central Region, Isabella Akwabwa fighting period poverty and equipping women and girls with skills for independence. In Wash, from Sirigu in the Upper East Region, Dr. Anthony Akunzele is improving livelihoods through clean water, education, and economic opportunities for women. From Akache in the Volta Region, Senyor Bomita is transforming communities through schools, clean water, healthcare access, and youth empowerment. And for the Corporate Partner Award from the Cape Coast Youth Development Association is empowering thousands of young people through education, skills training, and community development. These are not just finalists. These are change makers. They are nation builders. They are Ghana's true heroes. Join News Impact Makers Awards, celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impacts. Who takes this home?
The 2026 Joy News Impact Makers Awards is brought to you by Ghana CEO Summit, a decade of leadership impact. Labadi Beach Hotel, Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Abakun, Services Bebre, New Crystal Hospital, growing in good health. Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability. Water Aid Ghana, change starts with water. Ghana Chamber of Mines.
By midday, the day has spoken, stories have broken, events have unfolded.
We call on governments and cocoa board to pay our cocoa farmers immediately.
Now it's time to take stock. This is Joy News Today. As it happens, as it matters to you, from Accra to every region, from Parliament to the courts, our correspondents are on the beat, bringing you the latest developments, verified facts, and the context behind the headlines.
This authority is not going to be tough for the men. This authority will not affect the suffering unemployed youth.
On Joy News Today, there are no fragments of speculation, but a clear picture of where the country stands right now.
Because of Galamsey, Ghanaians voted against NPP for NDC to come and do better. But the better now, no, and
so you can stay informed, stay connected, and stay ahead. Joy News Today on Joy News. Independent, fearless, and credible.
All right, welcome back to the AM show. Let's bring you much more and bring you what we have in climate, evidence today. Now, pupils of Alajo, one basic school in Accra, are struggling to learn as extreme heat grips their classrooms. Many battle discomfort and poor concentration through lessons. Researchers warn rising temperatures could be affecting learning outcomes. Emmanuel Jivenu has more into this climate evidence.
Who do you pray to? God. So how many of you wait for God to respond to what it is?
It's late morning at Alajo 1 BECE school. The earlier rains has done little to cool the day. Inside this BECE 6 classroom, the air is still and hot.
Those who pray to the Supreme Being.
Their teacher is taking them through lessons on prayers.
Okay.
But across the room, pupils are losing focus. Some pupils pick up their exercise book not to write, but to fan themselves. Others use pieces of cloth or anything they can find. A few stop writing, lift their heads, and try to catch a breath of air that does not come.
Got something in your mind. Are you okay? Yes.
My name is Hanan Abdul-Wahab. Mostly when they are teaching, we feel seats in the class. So you will see people taking book, fanning themselves. There is heat.
Farhana is trying to follow the lesson, but she keeps losing focus. She fans herself, takes a sip of water, and tries again.
Sometimes some people we don't concentrate on learning. Madam can give classwork, maybe some people did not understand what she said, so we may get wrong.
So that's a prayer of thanksgiving. Then I go to number 2. Prayer.
The heat builds as the day goes on. By midday, temperatures rise to about 30 to 31 degrees Celsius. With the humidity, it becomes difficult to sit still, let alone concentrate.
We are feeling hot. Am I the only one feeling hot? Who is feeling hot? Hey, why the fan?
There is fun in the classroom.
Why is it not working?
The teacher notices the class is restless and asks for it to be switched on.
Okay, so just put on and let's see.
It starts turning, but the air is still warm. Some pupils look at it briefly, then go back to fanning themselves. They already know it won't make much difference.
We have a fan in the classroom, but it's not helping. It blows heat.
Next to Farhana is Elizabeth, who has stopped writing. She leans back, fanning herself with her book, her focus drifting away from the lesson.
My teacher is teaching this. I can't feel comfortable. And I can't concentrate well. So sometimes I don't understand what she teaches us.
Our classroom is like an oven because of the heat in the classroom. Full heat in the class. So some people don't concentrate on learning. So madam can give class with people, some will get wrong and some will get correct.
Farhana describes the classroom as an oven, and that is how it feels. At the front, the teacher keeps going, slowing the lesson and trying to hold the attention. But the heat is getting to her too. She pauses, wipes her face, and carries on.
It's unbearable, even in your own room when you are there and there's heat. You can't really be this one. So the students don't even concentrate when they are learning sometimes. They are finding themselves with fans and everything. So it's affecting teaching and learning. They don't concentrate, especially after lunch, that is second break after 12. The heat is really intense. So
they really don't feel comfortable. And even we as teachers, we don't feel comfortable.
The problem, she says, is not just the weather. It is the classroom itself. The walls are fitted with small breeze blocks meant for ventilation, but the openings are narrow and limit airflow. Instead of letting heat out, the room traps it, leaving the air still and warm.
The structure is also packed, and the roofing as well. The roofing is obvious because looking at the kind of designs we have, I think there should be air blurring, but it doesn't come that much, and the ceiling too is affecting it.
If the sun is scorching, it's called the roofing, so the roofing gets hot, and the heat will come to the class.
Outside, the sun hits the metal roof. Inside, the heat rises and stays trapped in the room. But beyond what the pupils and teachers feel, there is an effort to put numbers to it, to give meaning to the experience. A small device fixed in one of the corners of the classroom has been recording what happens here throughout the day. Every 10 minutes, it tracks temperature and humidity, building a clearer picture of the condition these pupils learn in. Betty Avanu Davidson is part of the research team from the University of Ghana. She returns from time to time to download the data.
Hi, how are you? What is the class? Can you please take it for me? Be careful, you can use the table. Oh, you can take it. Okay. This is a tiny tag, and it records temperature, the temperature of a room. It records the relative humidity as well as the dew point. And this recording is done at 10-minute interval each day. Loading data from this tag. So we deployed some tags in the school, and this is one of the tags. So we come here every 4 months to download data from the tag. However, you need scientific backing. You need to back them with data. So this is going to give us the scientific data, the scientific records to back the perceptional data that we are taking.
What is happening in this classroom is not isolated. Professor Ebenezer Amankwa is the lead researcher.
There is some rising temperatures over the years in the schools that we've monitored, and these rising temperatures combining with factors such as building orientation, classroom characteristics, poor tree shading tends to increase the extreme heat in the school.
Across urban areas like Accra, researchers are observing what is known as the urban heat island effect, where buildings, roads, and roofing materials trap heat and raise temperatures.
We also continue the old architecture of having the courtyards or the overhangs where, like a small corridor in front of the classrooms that sort of protect the sun rays from having direct contact to the classrooms. So once you have those courtyards or corridors, they sort of become the sun bricks. So they reduce the sun intensity from getting to the classrooms. For security and other reasons, they are changing the traditional windows into block windows, and that is not good because that really affects ventilation. We need to make sure that GES is very hard on this, and so that if a school wants to make any renovation, they should be within these standards that will not sacrifice the thermal comfort of students at the expense of providing security in the classroom.
Ghana already recognizes the risk. In its national climate plan, the country warns that if action is delayed, the long-term cost could undermine development and affect vulnerable groups, including children, in classrooms like this.
Let's start quantifying the cost of no action, right? So as academics, there's something that we tend to do so that we bring the evidence to stakeholders and policymakers so that they can make evidence-based policies, right? Because if you don't take action now, you pay a cost, you pay a price. for that. Okay, and this will include the performance of your school of your students. Okay, this will include the absenteeism that the school children will face during extreme heat, where they don't sleep well at home and they come to school, and then the heat is also so much that they can't bear in the classrooms.
This condition is not limited to Alajo 1 BECE school. It is happening in classrooms across the country. Pupils who should be following lessons are instead trying to stay comfortable, and over time, those small gaps begin to add up.
If you are finding yourself shoes, maybe sometimes you say that even hair cry is feeling heat, so I should put the book down and concentrate.
The teacher has been teaching the whole day, so he or she expects you to get something at that time of the day. But the learners who maybe at the time they are also suffering or they are getting something else at that time. Meanwhile, it is not known to the teacher or something. But the teacher is doing his or her work.
Heat, has been a big thing. And if you don't get a teacher who understands these dynamics in the classrooms, and the classroom is too hot, what the teacher will do is to just be caning school children, because school children are also experiencing discomfort, and the teacher themselves are also experiencing their own discomfort.
You want air conditioning?
Yes. The lesson continues, but not everyone is keeping up. While the class moves on, some pupils are still trying to catch up with what they missed in the heat. The heat is not stopping school, but it is changing what is learned and what is lost along the way. Over time, those missed moments begin to matter.
I want to be a journalist in future to talk about things going on in the country, but I'm afraid maybe the condition in the classroom will affect my performance.
Ghana's own climate plan warns that without action, the long-term cost could affect development and the most vulnerable. And in classrooms like this, that future is already taking place.
So you have
Joy News, Alajo,
oh, this is what I've
Accra.
Done. We are feeling hot. Am I the only one feeling hot?
This story is brought to you by Joy News in partnership with CDKN Ghana, University of Ghana Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies, with funding from Claire R4I Opportunities Fund.
Okay, all right. So that's what we have for you in climate evidence there. Well, Emefa, we'll just be crossing over to the...
Shortly, we shall be crossing you over to the Bank of Ghana. They're getting ready to present the 3i Africa Summit 2026. And in preparation for that, I want to just steal a bit of time and hear from you. Kojo, you've been discussing a lot of matters arising today.
So for example, maybe I can tease it with this text message from...
By all means.
I couldn't read it earlier. It says, good morning, Sam. The NDC is setting about precedent in the way it is using state power to harass and intimidate the opposition. You have rescinded prosecution initiated by the previous administration against certain corrupt officials within the NDC government, yet you are quick to arrest, detain, and impose unreasonable bail conditions in a bid to punish the accused. Well, we have taken note of this, and when the tables turn, we'll exact same actions against them. Nana Ikuama Boateng, Ablekuma Central, aka Dr. Baumia, will be president in 2020. It looks like,
Tell me a little bit about this Nana Ikuama, what's the name?
Nana Ikuama
Boateng. Okay, because we take delivery of her message every morning.
Well, it's a guy. I think it's a guy. Nana Ikuama.
Not Nana and Ekia differently. It's Nana Ekia more. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you're going to accuse me wrongly here.
No. We want to just go behind. We want to pierce the veil. We want to lift the veil and see whether she's sending you some love message. Anyway, please have your say on 03-221-1691, or you can just change the 1 to 2. We'd love to hear from you. It's been a while we heard from you, right? Okay, Eric, tell us where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Eric. I'm speaking from Kumasi, and Emefa, the kind of smiles we put on our face. I know the gentleman in the studio here.
Eric, Eric, I'm sorry. Maybe you want to reposition yourself so that we can hear you.
Oh, okay. What I'm saying is we really appreciate the kind of smiles you put on our face each and every day, especially in the morning. Some of us, we often do see such smiles during the morning. So anytime we see you like this, it gives us motivation. Again, I think the gentleman in the studio will attest to that. It gives some of us a lot of confidence to do what we're doing. But my problem has to do with the light. I think it's been a bit stable these days. It's been a bit stable. And we are pleading that the government do whatever it takes to keep it a bit stable, to improve it. Sometimes it goes off and it comes, it goes off and it comes. But it's a bit stable. So we are urging him to do what he can do to make it stable. Thank you. And the gentleman, good morning to you all.
Thank you so much, Eric.
You make people smile, you make them happy for the morning, and
we both.
And he's right about the stability in the power supply. For some days now, the power has been stable, at least from where I live.
Well, not for Ashaliboke and Adenta area.
For you. You're still going through it.
I'm not sure whether it's still a transformer issue or it has now moved on to another issue.
Oh no, because they explained that for the transformer, because they are replacing them. If they are not replaced your end, you could still be.
The minister said that Adenta had been
going through the problems.
The minister said that Adenta had been changed and that we can check.
Then it could be a localized fault, as they say.
I promise, since I moved to that area, it's been a localized problem.
Okay.
But anyway, let's speak to Mustafa. Mustafa, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Kumasi.
Okay. Please proceed. Share your thoughts.
Yes, good morning to all of you, and you are doing a wonderful job. I want to digress a bit. I don't know, I have a message for GES.
From who?
Hello?
Yes. You had a message from who?
Yeah, sir, I have a message for GES. Ghana Education Service.
Ghana, GES. Okay.
Yes, GES, yes.
Okay.
We wrote our promotion exams, I think somewhere later part of last year. And it's almost 5 months now. They're not really using the results, our promotion results. I don't know what is happening.
Promotion. Yeah, I remember the exam. Some of my friends do.
And it's so worrying. I mean, you are due for promotion, and for so many years you will be promoted. And once the opportunity comes and you have the exams too, they will delay in releasing the results. I don't know what is happening there. People don't know working on what. Please, if they are not competent enough to handle the place, they should chicken out and let other people can handle the place. So that is what yes.
Okay, so he's calling from Kumasi, right?
Yes.
I can understand the frustration.
They've written exams for promotion, but they haven't heard anything. So GES should possibly be giving them update and giving them explanations or reasons why that has delayed. Yeah. Let's go to Adra now.
Yeah, and speak to Abubakar. Hello, Abubakar. Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Good morning. Yeah, Emefa. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. In fact, you people are doing amazing. Joy News show. I never miss it for anything, and I should commend you for the good work, especially your Thursday panelist. and Selu. I just love that panelist, and keep doing the good job. Let me say, governments are voted to solve problems, actually. And this lighting problem, when we all saw the difficulty, we had issues with the government. So now if there is improvement, I mean, at least let's commend the government for the effort they put in. I mean, that's why they were voted. Government will come. There's no way you will come. Actually, government are even voted and face difficulties. But the attention, the sort of speed you take in solving the problem, that makes the government what people enjoy. So let me say congratulations to you. Emefa, my family love watching you. Let me say that.
Good morning to your family. Thank you so much, Abubakar. Okay. Yeah, let me just bask in the fans more.
You give people the source of happiness every morning. What do I tell you? That's why I say you have to, do what you do every morning. I don't want to say the other one, but you know what I mean,
Kojo, so this morning, it looks like one particular topic was catching fire on your discussion, right? Yes. It will be about the Hanan matter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but from your panelists, what are you getting? What are you feeling?
Oh, I mean, you know,
you can still call. The number is on there, 030-221-1691, or you can just change the 1 to 2.
The MPP feel that, well, because your case is breaking down, that's why you're doing what you're doing.
Oh.
The NDC also says, well, but it's part of the procedure. You can drop off your charges when you feel that the law under which you're prosecuting a case is not working for you. And this one, there are fresh evidence, so you can drop it and then get into something else. So I'm sure that is, but you know, politics plays center also.
You want to go to Jarapa and speak to Cornelius?
Okay, hi.
Good morning.
Cornelius.
I'm Cornelius, calling from
Jarapa.
Hence, precisely, in the Upper West region.
Okay.
This year's BECE, I think the efforts and the steps taken by leadership to ensure that there is zero tolerance for exam malpractices is in the right direction.
Okay.
But all this could have been done away with if steps are taken to install secret cameras in all exam centers. With that, you only need one person to do the investigation. You don't need many. And WAEC can do that to avoid this kind of embarrassment people are going through every year. The other thing is that the basic schools, the town has enough teachers in the basic schools, but in the rural areas, you have a school of more than 200 students with only 3 teachers. How will they be able to perform? They will go to school and a lot of the classes that do not have teachers are playing around. And as they progress, what are they going to learn? Thank you very much and good morning.
Good morning, Cornelius. You called us from Jarapa. Let's go to Ada and speak to Isaac. Hello, Isaac. Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you're all doing well.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay, I just want to talk about emergency situation at our district hospital in Ada.
Okay.
Sometime in the past, ambulances were distributed to every district, to every constituency. But for some time now, our ambulances are not available. We can't find them. And almost every other week, emergency issues that are referred to hospitals in Accra, but non-existent ambulance to transfer them. Just last Saturday, there was a motor accident. 2 people died. One died on the spot. The other was referred to the hospital. From 10 p.m., from 4 p.m. till 10 p.m., there wasn't an ambulance to refer this young man to Accra. And later, an ambulance was brought from Accra. When this boy was finally being transferred to Accra, he died on the way.
Oh, dear.
So we have ambulance issue at our district hospitals. And I think we need to drum up the situation so that...
So what, you had an ambulance before? You had one that you cannot find at all? Or you have one that is broken? Or you've never had one?
Yeah, when the ambulance was shared, that one district or one constituency, one ambulance, we had one.
Okay.
But we can't find it. Whether it is broken down, we don't know where it is. And these emergency issues are coming each and every week.
Isaac, I'm just going to task you to at least find out from the hospital what has happened to that ambulance. And you can reach out to me personally on my social or maybe call our numbers again and give me an update and then we can follow up, okay? Let's start from there, okay? Together we'll do this.
I'll do that.
Thank you so much, Isaac, for bringing this to our attention. Okay. Kojo, like a whole ambulance, like why?
Yeah, I think they should speak up. They should ask the...
And I like what he's done.
Yeah, the authority there, because I remember in Ahanta West, when I was grounded, the citizens started speaking about it, and my brother, Akufo-Addo, went in there and promised that he was going to, because it's been grounded, he was going to repair it. It was told, and I think after 2 weeks, it was brought back working.
Okay.
So ask and your authorities would give you update as to where the ambulance is and what is happening to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's broken, it can just be fixed.
Exactly.
And then, lives will not be lost.
The maintenance culture of this country, we usually talk about it every day without doing anything to deal with it.
Yeah.
For example, today we built a hospital. Looks so nice. This children's hospital in
Weija.
The one they were demonstrating. Beautiful facility.
Very.
But give it 5 years down the line. Go there again and see if it looks beautiful as it is today. So why can't we develop a system in which we are able to maintain properties that we have to prevent them from deteriorating? Because we keep our houses and properties very neat, very clean, and we maintain them from deteriorating. So why can't we do the same for government properties? So I think that we've come to a stage where these ambulances, we shouldn't be reporting grounded ambulances.
How?
The past government brought how many? Over 300 of them, right?
Yeah.
There should be a maintenance regime to ensure that all of them are on, if they will bring them at all, like a week, they should be back. After a week, they should be back. Because there are mechanics around. What are they doing? But you see that one of them will be, there were news that some of them were being used to carry as a blocks or so, right?
Yeah.
They had blocks under them. Why do we do this to ourselves as a country? So really,
it's hard. There's some things we shouldn't really play with ambulances.
We spend so much money in procuring them, and then we waste intentionally. Because if it's not intention, why do you keep your house well maintained, but you keep the government property, you leave it to deteriorate? Really, I don't seem to understand it. And we spend so much money. Monies that we could have used in eliminating schools under trees, eliminating no desk syndrome and no bed syndrome.
Our behavior and our culture, our maintenance culture costs us more than how much to do anything. You're just spot on that. Is anybody calling us again? 030-221-1691. Just a little later, we shall take you to the Bank of Ghana, and we shall be bringing you the 3I Africa Summit 2026. And then that should be all, right? Shall I take our viewers there, Kojo?
We have a caller on the line, but if not, we can look at other matters. You know what? Yesterday was a great day. I had my 2 sisters-in-law. They are sweet people.
God has blessed you.
Kakra and Payne. They are sweet ladies. Charlene and Sheila. They were celebrating their birthday. I celebrate them because they make life so easy for myself and my wife. They will take the kids, treat them as their own, and then we can do our own, so wifey will go to the business. I spend so many hours, but the younger sisters will take care of them. So happy belated birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you, Sheila and Charlene and Ponsa.
In the spirit of birthdays, Kojo, let's wish a happy birthday to Fafa Gozo of AFSEC, Ghana Airport Company. And this is coming from Max Fuga here. There was one as well that our belated birthday celebrant, Poma, just shared with me. He says, a happy birthday to Dickens Comfort or Say You're Loved Dearly by your children, Irene, Tracy, together with their spouses and grandchildren. May God grant all of your heart desires, age gracefully. And this is coming from Tracy Anyomi to you, Madam Comfort or Say. Let's still pick a few more calls. Yes. You can call us on 030-221-1691 or 030-221-1692 and share with us. It's just amazing because the start of this year start of this year, the AG was quite like, if you watch the government accountability series when he is, like telling us that we have done painstaking investigations and we're sure and all of that. So I can understand how people will feel when they say that. A lot of people also don't know that if you charge a person under a particular provision and then your witnesses and it's not going well, you are just so much allowed to collapse that. And then when the person steps out, you even can charge them again and then start the process all over again. But it raises a lot of questions.
Exactly. The question about what sort of painstaking investigation we did, how we were made to understand. We felt that then this is what it is, that won't get back to here at this point. But if you come back, then people then will be asking questions about the kind of due diligence you did and what because you are chasing people you deem as smart, right?
Yeah.
You allege they've done something. They won't leave it in the open for you to see.
Nobody's going to just help you.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you are getting to do the investigation, you do the investigation such that you cover all loopholes. So really, let's see how this one goes. I mean, they say that they've uncovered new evidence, so let's see what this new evidence will do. Let's go to Odumase Krobo now for our last caller. Yeah. Let's pick our last caller from Odumase Krobo. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes, let make it short for us. Our time is up, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Don't listen to yourself on a television. Listen to yourself on a phone, and let's make it snappy.
In our secondary school, especially if you tackle, especially if you are tackling.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
in my hometown, I would say, you know. Let's leave it.
All right. Kojo, thank you so much. But we shall take you to the Bank of Ghana for the 3i Africa Summit 2026.
So this is Bank of Ghana. Wow.
And the second Deputy Governor, Mrs. Matilda Asante Esiedu. We're joined on a sweet tide of solidarity by governors of central banks from across the continent. Would you please make welcome from the United Republic of Tanzania, the governor of the Central Bank of Tanzania, Mr. Emmanuel Tutuba. The second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Sudan, Dr. Sani Abdulhafiz Silla. The Deputy Governor of the Bank of Zimbabwe, Dr. Innocent Matashi. The Deputy Governor of the Bank of Rwanda, Mr. Nick Barige. Make welcome the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Zambia, Reka Chifue Muhagno. Make welcome the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Liberia, Dr. Musa Dukuli. The Directors General of the West Africa Monetary Institute and the West Africa Monetary Agency are here with us. We make welcome the Chief of Staff at the Office of the Vice President of the Republic, the Honorable Alex Segbethia. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Interbank Payments and Settlement System, our great collaborator, Madam Clara B. Arthur. Would you please make welcome from Singapore, the CEO of the Global Finance and Tech Network Solutions, Maha El Damaki. Thank you very much. Captains of industry, the boards, management and staff of the Bank of Ghana, GIPS and the GFTN of Singapore, heads of industry associations and organizations, distinguished delegates, members of the press, and the good and great joining us on radio, television, and online. We welcome you to this great gathering where ours is a mission to redefine how Africa invests, transacts, and grows. For 3 inspirational days, ours will be a labor of love for this nation and for the continent as we dwell on this all-important theme. Our opening ceremony is rather brief, which will take 4 very short keynotes culminating in the ultimate by our guest of honor, the Vice President of our Republic. Thereafter, we shall delve into a very spirited panel discussion bordering on our theme, and the day promises to be even more enriching with several breakout sessions you don't want to miss. Setting the tone for today, however, it is my pleasure to invite, to welcome us and show us how we can enforce Africa's next frontier in digital finance. Make welcome our gracious host, the Governor of the Central Bank of Ghana, yours and mine, Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama.
Yeah. Excellency, the Vice President, honorable ministers, governors of central banks here represented, industry leaders and innovators, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. So it is a joy indeed to be here at the second edition of the 3i Africa Summit that is being hosted by the Bank of Ghana. And we are doing this in partnership with the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems, GIPS, and the Global Finance and Technology Network, GFTN, of the Monetary Authority of Singapore. I commend the organizers who have worked tirelessly to put this remarkable summit together. And from the short video that we just watched, before I got up to this podium, it is clear that the 3i Africa Summit has made a significant mark indeed on the global financial landscape, from the maiden edition that started in 2024 to the policy dialogue that was organized last year. What is equally clear is that we are now at a point